Welcome to ESPN College Football. Tuesday night action from Waldo Stadium in Kalamazoo. It's the regular season finale for the Western Michigan Broncos as they take the field and they host the Northern Illinois Huskies. Take a look at the MAC West division. Northern Illinois has already clinched the division. They will play in the MAC title game 10 days from now in Detroit. Western Michigan is bowl eligible with 6 wins, but they would feel much more comfortable in receiving a bowl bid if they can get another win tonight. Glad you could join us on this Tuesday night for Michigan, along with former MAC Player of the Year Ray Bentley. I'm Mark Neely. Quint Kesnick down on the field will join us shortly. Ray, we get to see a really good Northern Illinois defense that has a lot of disruptors on it, but maybe the king disruptor is Sutton Smith.
I like that. Sutton Smith, the king of disruption, and that's what he does. They line him up on the edge, point him inside, and turn him loose, and he's relentless. He's got a motor. He'll track you down. He will line up in various spots on third down, so he gets mismatches. And the Western Michigan Broncos will have to identify and know where Sutton Smith is tonight, or this kind of mayhem will rain down on them. This is a pretty good defense led by Sutton Smith.
Yeah, leading the MAC in a lot of different categories. They'll have to face a good running attack for Western Michigan, and fifth-year senior Jamari Bogan will play his final home game tonight.
Yeah, and I really like Jamari Bogan in this matchup because he's one of those inside zone rushers. Keeps his shoulders square, has got a great nose for the end zone. He's able to slam it in there, and then he's got incredible vision. He can make those quick jump cuts to get to the edge. But I think a lot of the good yardage there tonight for Western will be between the tackles, and that's where Bogan does his best work.
Very good running attack for Western Michigan. Quint, they let go their defensive coordinator, Tim Dowse, Western Michigan, after their last loss. Tell us more about Lou Esposito, who we'll be seeing tonight.
Yeah, head coach Tim Lester makes the move. They've lost 3 straight and given up 152 points in the process. Esposito gets the promotion. Who is he? Well, he grew up in Staten Island, New York, played offensive line at Memphis, and then played in the Arena League where his roommate was Tim Lester. These two have worked their way up the ladder. Tonight he gets his big promotion. What he's hoping to bring to the defense, guys, juiced up, flying around, crisp tackling, and breaking some tendencies along the way.
Well, you certainly want to break a tendency of the points that they've allowed the last 3 games. That's been a bunch.
And a good place to start, for sure.
Yes. Well, Northern Illinois won the toss and deferred, so they'll kick it off. You got Northern Illinois wearing the white uniforms tonight, and Western Michigan in the black and gold. There's the kick, and we are underway. Chase Brown from the 1. Brown hits the 20 with a jump, and he'll tumble forward up near the 25-yard line. Well, Caleb Ellamy became the starting quarterback after John Wasink was injured in Game 9 in the Toledo contest here. And so he makes his 4th appearance, but 3rd overall start.
Yeah, and he struggled quite a bit in his 2nd appearance against Ohio. But since that time, he came around a little bit. They've changed some of the stuff they do. This is an offense that runs a lot, and that helps him. But they've moved a lot of the throws to the edge. So we'll see how he develops tonight and if that confidence grows and they can throw the football down the field with him, because he has a hugely talented arm.
Yeah, he is a true freshman out of the St. Louis area. Went to Pattonville High School. Play fake, throws to the near side to Reed. This is Jaden Reed, who they call Bird. He makes a man miss, lost the football at the end, but jumps back on it at the 42. Well, Traquan Smith knocked that out, and Reed was fortunate to jump back on it.
Yeah, Smith owed him one because of that move that he put on him. That was pretty amazing.
Western Michigan first down at the 40.
See if that actually hit the ground. Nah,
he scooped it up pretty good. They're going to let it go.
Moot point now. Here's a run and a little spin by Bellamy, who's up near the 45-yard line for a gain of 5 on 1st down.
And Levante Bellamy is another part of this 2-headed running back that Western Michigan has with Jamari Bogan and then Bellamy. Now, he's more the home run guy. He can get to the edge, and he can go the distance on any given play. He's an excellent receiver. Had a huge week last week against Ball State.
213 yards, career high there, and rushing yards. And he's over 1,100 yards rushing for the season. And another carry for Bellamy, running right, trying to get to the edge and turn that corner. Does so. Gets right up near the sticks at midfield. Will be close to a 1st down, if not have that. And Traquan Smith had an opportunity to get him, but did not. And it will be a 1st down for Western.
And Western pulls their center, John Kenoy, on this one. Now he's the top offensive lineman of this group. A lot of people, you don't see him pull the center a whole lot, but he's uncovered. He gets out there and he has the athleticism to get to the edge and lead a play.
So first down for Western Michigan, right at midfield. First possession of the game. Handoff. Bellamy took some contact in the backfield. Maybe gets a yard or so before he is pushed back. Antonio Jones-Davis, one of the linebackers, number 48, came up to make that initial hit. His 99th tackle now of the year to lead their team.
He gets all over the field. I like the way this kid plays. He is sideline to sideline getting after people.
Got Jamari Bogan now into the backfield. Here comes some pressure off the edge and taking a deep shot towards Eskridge, but overthrows him. Dwayne Eskridge, the intended receiver there. And some pressure came off the edge, and Jalen McKee had the coverage.
Tim Lester told us that he wants to try to get the ball deep, especially with the press coverage in these corners that come up and press receivers. But the question is, can Ellaby get to him? And the other question is, where's Sutton Smith? They got to find him each and every time. Make sure they've got him protected, and they'll chip. They'll use an extra tight end and the back to try to keep him off the quarterback.
Well, after quickly advancing the ball to midfield, they now face a 3rd and 9, but they do get the jump by Weston Kramer, one of the defensive tackles for Northern Illinois, that should get them 5 yards and turn this into a 3rd and 4.
Much more manageable. Nice little hard count by Caleb Ellaby.
Dead ball, offside. Number 55 defense. 5-yard penalty remains. 3rd down.
Kramer, a sophomore out of Naperville, Illinois.
And I promise you, Western Michigan's changing the play. It's a little different deal. 3rd down and 4. The run game opens up as a possibility, especially in this area of the field.
You got the tight end Ricci in the backfield as well with Bogan. Here comes Ricci in motion. Goes back to the far side. Here comes some heat. Ellaby taking a deeper shot for Reed. He's got it, and he's tackled inside the 5 by Traquan Smith. 39-yard gain, 1st and goal Broncos.
That's what they want to do. If they're going to get press coverage, they're going to go up for it. And that's exactly what happened. And Reed just beat the coverage off the line. Watch him get that separation. And then it's just a foot race and a nice throw out there by Ellaby. A little short, or it would have been a touchdown.
Quickly to the line, handoff Bogan. He's met at about the 2. He'll gain about 3. That was Sutton Smith, number 15, who makes the tackle.
Nice opening drive here for the Broncos, who needed something like that. They lost a heartbreaker last week by 1 point in overtime, going for 2. And the week prior to that, they got destroyed by Ohio. They need some good news around here.
That's the 9th play of this game-opening drive for Western Michigan. A 2nd down and goal. Bogan trying to fight his way in, and with 2nd effort, he does get in. Touchdown, Broncos. He leads the MAC in rushing touchdowns. That's his 14th rushing touchdown of the year. It comes from 2 yards out.
A nice little 2nd effort. It looked like he was stonewalled at the 1, but he dug down and got the push and got it over that goal line. And
Timeout
the Broncos start out senior night very well.
So a very impressive drive for Western Michigan. Now, let's not discount the subtle things of getting the offsides call to turn a 3rd and 9 into a 3rd and 5. Now, that's Weston Kramer slow to get up there at the goal line for Northern Illinois.
But you're right. Caleb Ellaby looked like a seasoned veteran in that drive. The way he managed those things, he drew him off sides, got a little closer on that 3rd down, but he threw a nice RPO out to the edge. And then the deep ball he dropped over the top to Bird Reed. That's really what set him up for this score. Good to see.
Yeah, that
big man walking off. Sorry,
no, Ray. That deep pass is a new wrinkle. I think that his play has earned their trust now, and they're going to take shots if this man-to-man coverage on the outside.
Yeah, they keep pressing him. They're going to keep throwing it over their heads and keep trying that. That's for sure.
Gavin Petty on for the point after. Out of the hole to Nick Mahalik. The snap from Bryce Bowens, and that is up and good. And Western Michigan off to a fast start here on their home field in the regular season finale.
And they got it going early on a deep ball over the top to Jordan Reed. And then they cap it off with a touchdown. Jamari Bogan, no stranger to the end zone, and the Broncos draw first blood.
An 8-play drive that lasted just under 3 minutes with the Bogan 2-yard touchdown run capping it off. And a quick 7 points for Western Michigan. We saw Weston Kramer in that ankle wrapped up after he came off the field after the Bogan touchdown run. Northern Illinois about to get the football for the first time. And Nick Mahalik is going to kick off for Western Michigan. And this is returnable all the way up at the 10. Kokasulis. Otis Kokasulis breaks a tackle. He's up near the 24-yard line. Redshirt sophomore Marcus Childers, who took over as the starting quarterback for Northern Illinois in Game 5 of last season. He was the MAC Freshman of the Year a year ago, building off that freshman season.
Yeah, I think he's dramatically improved from last year, in particular in his running ability. He's a very explosive scrambler. They like to run him with the football early because he likes to take a hit. And then he's very accurate with the intermediate stuff. The one thing I got on him is the deep ball. He needs to work on that one a little bit.
Hey, you don't hear many quarterbacks say they like to take an early hit just to feel like they're in the game, like Childers does. Harbison with the first carry. Let's take a look at your impact players here, Ray.
Yeah, and the first guy is big offensive tackle Max Sharping. He's as good as it gets, and I'm not talking for the MAC either. I mean, across the country, he's unbelievable. And then Alex Grace is going to be playing the edge tonight, and he's going to have to make a lot of plays to stop this running game from Northern Illinois, which is extremely good.
Harbison stopped after a 3-yard run by Drake Spears. Yeah, they moved Max Sharping. I mean, usually he's on that left side, Ray, but this is a guy his head coach Rod Carey said, hey, he's going to play in the NFL for a decade.
Yeah, and I agree and believe it myself. And they'll move him to either side. They'll also overload a side and unbalance it with him. And I would say close to 70% of their runs go right behind him, and there's good reason for that.
Throw is a first down catch at the 36-yard line. DJ Brown, senior out of North Little Rock, 9-yard pickup, and again a first down.
And these receivers owe Marcus Childers one, in my opinion. They did not play well, in particular in the second half last week, and they ended up losing a ball game I think they should have won had they performed how they normally do. So we'll see if these receivers are going to make catches tonight.
Yeah, they lost 13-7 at Miami of Ohio. And really had a bad second half. Here's DJ Brown, who just had that first down catch just on the jet sweep, and he's slung down for a gain of only a couple by the free safety A.J. Thomas.
A.J. Thomas came flying up out of that free safety spot, and he's sitting up there, and he's going to have to make plays against the run. That's where this, I think, Western defense can make up some ground, and that's having those safeties come flying up into the box to make a play, and you're going to see exactly what I'm talking about at the end here.
Play action. Childers takes too long, and he is sacked by Ralph Holly.
Took forever.
It did. And it'll be a loss of 7 yards.
And Childers, he doesn't usually hold on to it that long. He's a good guy as far as getting it out of his hands and the timing on the routes, but there's nothing available. And then all of a sudden, it was closing time. And Ralph Holly closed him down.
Well, third down at 14 on this, the first drive of the game for Northern Illinois. Have not done all that well on third down this season.
Western just brings 4.
Lost football, and it's recovered. Azua was the one in pursuit. And I believe it was Ken Finley who jumped on it.
I thought Childers was trying to throw that thing. Did you get that sense, or do you think he just lost it?
I think he just kind of he brought the ball down, and it kind of just tumbled out of his hand.
It kind of flicked his wrist. I don't know if he thought he could throw it away at that point or what happened, but clearly it's out, and it's Western Michigan football. right at the end, I think he tried to throw the football. This might be looked at and be called grounding, intentional grounding. I think he threw it.
Well, that's really tough. That's borderline for sure, but
I don't know why he panicked like that. But they're going to look at this. That to me is an incomplete pass, intentional grounding,
recovered
rather
by
than
the
a turnover.
defense. Previous play is under review.
So Jay Lyons, a replay official, will get a look at it. And you make a really good point there, Ray, that if they do overturn this, they can apply the intentional grounding penalty and make it 4th down. And Northern Illinois would take this instead of a turnover.
I mean, you be the judge. To me, that right hand at the end, he flips this thing. He throws it, and
I'm not totally convinced.
You know what? On the second look, maybe it was because he got his hand hit and the way the pressure came in from Asua.
Yeah, I don't think there's enough to overturn the call on the field, which is a turnover.
I know when I saw it live, I'm thinking he tried to throw that. What is he doing? You know, and so that was my initial sense. We'll see. It's up for interpretation, and our buddy Jay Lyons, our replay official tonight, he's laboring over it.
Ray, you think he would have popped up and then protested to the official had he intentionally thrown that forward?
Yeah.
As if to make a point right away, or like, no, that's grounding, that's grounding.
Yeah, I believe he would have, and you're right. I don't think we saw that. I didn't remember watching him.
After review, the ruling on the field of a fumble recovered by the defense is confirmed.
So they confirm it. Yep, they confirm it.
And I think that's the right call after that last look that we saw. It looked like the impetus knocking the ball out was from Asua.
And you see Rod Carey, the head coach for Northern Illinois, who unfortunately for his Huskies have kind of picked up where they left off the second half of their last game and turned the ball over. So the Broncos have it at the 19 of the Huskies. Bellamy found a little bit of a crease, enough of a crease to scoot forward. They're going to mark him down at about the 12. It doesn't take much of a hole for him.
No, nice run on first down. That's what Western did such a great job of last week. They ran up 41 points on Ball State, primarily because they stayed ahead of the chains and they put their young quarterback in a lot of good situations where it wasn't all on him. And that's what they continue to do thus far tonight.
Bellamy, who leads the back in rushing yards and yards per game, will get another carry. This time a little jump cut, trying to find something, and maybe gets a half yard or a yard out of that as Weston Kramer, 55, who is back in the game after getting that ankle wrapped up, makes the hit.
Western offense bringing in a couple of wide receivers out to the edge. They've got 12 personnel in here right now, and a couple of really good tight ends. And Odell Miller, 38, he's more of the blocking guy. He'll be on the line of scrimmage, and then Ricci will be the tight end off the line a little bit. They love to run bootlegs to him down here.
Yeah, if they're running, it's usually going behind Miller here. And now play fake, and there's Ellaby being slung down and sacked by guess who? Sutton Smith, his 10th sack of the season, a loss of 7.
Yeah, and they wanted to run that bootleg and dip the ball out to Ricci, but it's just too late because Smith is going to come off the edge. And when he comes off the edge, he comes with serious intent. And what I can't believe is they didn't even block him. I mean, Ricci tried to chip him a little and then quick run out for the pass, but Sutton Smith closes way too quickly for you to get away with that on him.
Field goal attempt for Petty from 36. Sutton Smith passes Mike Dana for the most sacks in the MAC, who now has 10. A low line drive, and that one is no good. That went wide left. And Western Michigan misses a golden opportunity after the turnover gave them the ball at the Northern Illinois 19, and that's a win right there for the Huskies.
No doubt, and maybe that's their wake-up call, because so far tonight they have not looked like the team that won their division, already clinching it.
Missed it wide left. Petty. And it stays 7-0. Wow.
Laces out.
Walt Disney World Resort.
Tuesday night action from Kalamazoo on a chilly night. in Western Michigan, and Northern Illinois fortunate they're still down only 7-0. You could tell the laces weren't spun around on that 36-yard field goal attempt for Western Michigan.
Yeah, that would hurt kicking laces in this weather.
Yeah. But a little reprieve here for Marcus Childers in Northern Illinois. They take over at their own 20. And give to Harbison, who falls forward up to the 24-yard line.
Let's go back to that laces out deal, and you'll see it's pretty plain that it does not get spun by the holder, Nick Mahalik. And so there they are, bright as day, and that's not a kicker's dream by any stretch.
Quick strike out near the sideline. That's Spencer Tears with the catch and a first down. Tears, a veteran guy, who's really starting to get his stride back late in the year.
Yeah, missed some time earlier in the year, some academic issues, but Coach Carey says he's starting to look like the Tears of old.
Guy who led their team in receptions a year ago, and here's a catch here on the near side. That's Jawan Wesley, and another first down. Wesley, another primary target, his 46th catch of the year. In fact, he leads them over 500 receiving yards on the season.
Childers come out throwing here in this second drive.
Here he goes, and that pass is caught, but then immediately DJ Brown is undercut by Jawan Dowles, the cornerback, number 11.
Nice play by Dowles, closing quickly. The redshirt senior, last home game. Going to make it a memorable one. He just hits the gas pedal. This is just a little edge screen trying to get something going, and Dowles says, no, you don't.
Dowles had a couple interceptions at Ball State last week, a guy who's a grad transfer after playing 3 years at Syracuse. So we got two teams here have a little bit of a bad taste from last week. Games that were there to win that they did not. That was the first conference loss of the season for the Huskies, and it carried Trey Harbison. Ali Fayed, 57, helping out on the hit.
Well, the early returns for a Lou Esposito coach defense are pretty good here. Got him in a 3rd and long right now. We'll see if they handle some tempo. But so far, this Western Michigan defense has been tight tonight.
Childers.
Wide open.
And lofts it, and there he is. That's caught by Tears down the sideline. Touchdown, Huskies.
Did I speak too soon?
It was wide open, man. You saw it, 58 yards. Tears' 5th touchdown catch. Actually, 2nd touchdown catch this year after 4 a year ago.
And this has been the thing that has plagued this defense, and primarily what got, in my opinion, Tim Dowse fired. Watch up at the top of your screen, a little double move, and they've just been so many and too many blown coverages and things of that nature. You know, a misstep and a slip, and it just easy touchdowns. And that's been the problem with this defense, and it continues to be tonight.
Point after for Andrew Gantz, and just like that, this game is tied at 7 with just over 5 minutes to play in this first quarter.
No Tears for Northern Illinois, unless you're talking about Marcus Tears into the end zone, and we are all tied up 7-all here in Kalamazoo.
.505 left first quarter from Kalamazoo. Northern Illinois and Western Michigan knotted up now at 7 after Marcus Childers' 11th touchdown pass of the season, and that one of the more easier ones for him this season after Dowles bit on that double move and fell down, and it was easy pickings for Spencer Tears.
And good protection too, picking up that blitz and allowing Childers to roll out and make that throw.
John Richardson kicks it away. Chase Brown, it's over his head and will come out to the 25. We'll kick off your Week 12 NFL Sunday with ESPN at 10 a.m. Eastern. Sam and the guys have all the early breaking stories, the injury updates, and preview each game right up to kickoff. And like everything else, you can watch it on the ESPN app. Then our Week 12 Monday Night Football matchup, a big one in the AFC South. The first place Texans, who've won 7 straight, take on the second place Titans. 8:15 Eastern is also simulcast in Spanish on ESPN2 and available on the ESPN app. How about that Monday night game last night?
Yeah, that was a beauty. I wish they were all like that.
Kansas City Chiefs become the first team in the history of the NFL to lose a game when they score 50 or more points. Carry there for Levante Bellamy. No gain and a second down at 10. This is possession number 3 for the Broncos. They marched down the field in 8 plays and scored a touchdown on their first drive. Could not take advantage of a Northern Illinois turnover deep inside their own end on their second possession, and now here possession number 3. Zone read, and he'll give it up to Bellamy. It's maybe a yard or 2 up to about the 27. That's going to bring up a 3rd and long.
Nice play up front by Heflin on that one. And he didn't make the tackle, but he forced the cut back inside to where people were waiting. Too much sideways running. Western Michigan's a lot better off when they come right straight at you.
Watch out for Bird in the slot, the lower part of your screen. Motion Ricci, the tight end, to the left side of the formation. Ellaby, draw play, hand it off. This is Bellamy, and he's going to run for the first down and more up to the 42. Nice call there, and that's a pickup about 15 yards.
Yeah, real nice play call there by Coach Lester. Tim Lester calls the plays, the head coach, and he dials up a draw, and boy, they fooled Northern Illinois. They were coming flat out. Everyone had pass rush on their mind. They wanted to get another sack.
Timeout for
Jordan Cole,
defense.
Linebacker for Northern Illinois, is down. Just look at the numbers tonight for Bellamy, who's, thanks to that 15-yard run, averaging 4.5 per carry. So with Cole being attended to, we'll take a timeout as well. Jordan Cole came off under his own power there, kind of doing the shoulder check there a moment ago. Looks like he hopefully will be okay.
It was weird. He was walking and then he waved to the sidelines and sat down. So something wasn't right. Now he's on the sideline.
First down call here for Western Michigan. Jamari Bogan back in as the back. And the carry for Bogan. Met there by Antonio Jones-Davis. A gain of 2 yards.
Big weekend coming up.
We'll be getting the look at the new top 10 as well here shortly.
Should be pretty close to the old top 10.
Yeah, West Virginia probably has fallen out. Here's a pass. It's over the head. The receiver, intended receiver, Keyshawn Watson.
Yeah, and that's actually a nice decision by Ellaby to just throw that one away because he was late on it and the route got jumped. It could have gone in the other direction. So a nice decision there by the young freshman to just throw it away.
This is game number 4 for Caleb Ellaby. We know the new redshirt rule, Ray. If you play 4 or less, you still get that year back. Now, if this is a team that makes a bowl game, the plan is to play Ellaby. So if he plays a 5th game, then obviously they wouldn't have the option of using the red shirt on him this year.
Right, and their starter at the beginning of the season, John Wasink, they had hoped would be ready for a bowl game, but that's not in the cards. Had foot surgery.
Pass that time is out of reach of D. Eskridge.
Do you guys like that decision, Mark? 1 game is worth the whole year?
I mean, as far as if he plays in a bowl game?
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, we asked Tim Lester about that. You know, maybe do you have Musa as the starter? And he said, yeah, you know, we're going to finish out the season with Ellaby. Well, how do you feel about that, Ray?
I think he's been your guy the last 3-4 games, and you go into a bowl season. I think it would only help to have him continue to play. And I get what you're saying, Quint, but I think the now is kind of important for the way this team has floundered of late.
First punt of the night for Mahalik. Taking it to 20 and drop there for no return for Cole Tucker. Well, we ask, we receive. Take a look. UCF is in there at number 9. That's probably not high enough for Ray Bentley's taste.
No. And what is Oklahoma doing at 6? They can't stop anybody. I just don't know what they're seeing. I get it. They're a great offense, and they're fun to watch, but they aren't going to beat anybody in this top 10, in my opinion.
course, you got Michigan and Ohio State coming up this weekend, and Ohio State still lurking around at number 10. They've had a lot of close wins despite the blowout loss they had at Purdue. There's Childers going to go, and here's a nice run all the way up to the 33 before he's tackled by Drake Spears and a gain of 12.
Yeah, and Spears really, he had contained, and he got caught on the inside. He should have been right there to stop that play for no gain. He had bad eye discipline.
Going to hand it off to Harbison this time. Only about a yard, met by Ralph Holly. Well, Ray Bentley's top 6.
Yeah, and you see I got UCF in there for you at number 6, and I really think they're one of the top 6 to 8 teams in the country, and I want to see them play somebody. I'm sick of hearing about it, to be honest with you. I think they could do it in a one-off.
Childers sacked by Holly, but I get your point, Ray. I think there's a lot of people who like to see UCF.
All they do is win. What is it, 23 in a row now? I mean, come on.
Well, they may only get a chance at a Power 5 team in a bowl game.
Yeah, and that's, the scheduling. They don't play in a Power 5 conference, so they don't play very many Power 5 teams. I get all that, but I'd like to see them get a chance.
Well, after the sack, it's back to a 3rd and 12. A lot of time for Childers, now being chased. Throws it downfield at midfield, sliding catch. They say yes. DJ Brown, first down. Huskies, 19-yard gain.
That was about 8 seconds that he had to throw the football.
And they're wanting to go fast, but here's a look at that Childers.
Charge timeout.
7 Mississippi, 8 Mississippi.
It will run 30 seconds.
That ball is close to hitting the ground, but Brown able to get the hand underneath, it looked like. Hey, Q, you've seen Central Florida among many other teams this year. What's your impression?
Well, I don't think they're as strong as they were last year. I've seen Utah State in person, and their offense is lethal. But going back to the group of 5 guys, this Northern Illinois team, in my eyes, is the only group of 5 in the country that has scheduled themselves a chance to be considered in the playoff. When you think about playing Iowa, you play Utah, Florida State, and BYU. I mean, that's 4 out-of-conference big games. There's no other group of 5 that has a schedule that can match. And let's say Northern had gone undefeated, they would be in the mix. But until UCF gets those type of teams on their schedule, it's not going to happen.
Yeah, NIU started 1-3 due to the losses, as you mentioned, to Iowa, Utah, and Florida State. Then put a nice winning streak together before the loss last week, their first conference loss of the season. It comes to Miami of Ohio. Here's the quarterback running again, Marcus Childers to the 43, stopped by Tanner Moats. That's a 7-yard run for Childers.
Yeah, and I'm surprised it took him so long to get his hit. When we were talking to Mike Yurimovich, the offensive coordinator, he says, I like to get him the ball carried early because he likes to get hit.
And there's another. They call his number once again, and that's a first down to the 35. The strong safety, Justin Tranquil, has to come up to bring him down after an 8-yard pickup. And I know you don't want to expose your quarterback to too many hits, but Childers is a guy who likes to carry the ball. Gives it up this time to Harbison, and he powers forward all the way inside the 30 to the 28. And right now, the Huskies getting it done on the ground.
Yeah, they're putting together a nice little drive here.
And that's going to take us to the end of the first quarter. A touchdown run for Jabari Bogan of Western Michigan, and a Spencer Tears 58-yard touchdown catch. The final Tuesday action of the season from Kalamazoo, and after 1 quarter, NIU and Western Michigan tied up at 7.
ESPN, home of the college football playoff.
We start the second quarter from here in Kalamazoo. That first quarter, take a look at the numbers.
Pretty even.
Yeah, very even, but Northern Illinois trying to uneven it. This is their 8th play of the drive. From plus territory and stopped at the 31. Trey Harbison loses 3 thanks to Justin Tranquil.
Yeah, Tranquil did a nice job from his safety position of coming up to the edge, recognizing it immediately
Timeout
and then
for
making
injured
a
player
play,
on the
but there is a
defense.
Bronco down on the field.
That is Ken Finley, senior nose tackle out of Muskegon High School in Muskegon, Michigan. Western Michigan trying to snap a 3-game losing skid. They had won 6 in a row prior to that. They come in with a 6-5 record. They were one of 3 teams, Western Michigan was last year, that was bowl eligible that did not get selected for a bowl.
Will also be a media timeout.
That conference mate Buffalo was one of the other 3, as well as Texas San Antonio. With the injury timeout, we will step aside as well here in Kalamazoo. Finley came off under his own power. Did have a smile on his face a moment ago, having an ankle wrapped up. But a 3rd down and 5 upcoming here for Northern Illinois from the 30 of Western Michigan. They're going into a slight breeze. 5 yards is what they need for the 1st down, but they're kind of borderline field goal range here, Ray.
Yeah, we'll see what they end up doing, but the field goal, they got to get 4 yards to get in that range.
And Childers is going to be stopped at about the 28, which, Quint, you heard down below. This is right about where the field goal area is beginning for them going into the breeze there.
Yeah, well, I overheard their special teams coach talk to Andrew Gantz, the field goal kicker, because I'm standing right next to the kicking net. Said 26-27 is the range into the wind. That's why they're going for it.
And they're at the 28, so they're going for it on 4th down and 2. And here's a pass from Childers. Underthrown, incomplete. That was the tight end, Maximilian Thrower, who's getting some time tonight with Mitchell Brinkman out, and also Corey Lurch not playing tonight, number 44.
And Ali Faid had the pressure on Childers, and that, I think, is what forced the errant throw. He couldn't get it past him. Watch the guy come off the edge here and get in the throwing lane. That's Faid, and there's really no good way to throw it, and then it ends up low, and they turn it over on downs.
So Thrower seeing some playing time, does not have a catch this year.
They moved him over from offensive line.
Yes, he's playing in his 3rd game due to the injuries to a couple other tight ends. So Western Michigan takes over on downs from their own 28-yard line. Ellaby fires far side, and a strike is caught by Eskridge. Trying to break a tackle, did so, but was out of bounds. They're going to mark him out. He will have a 1st down at about the 44. Jalen McKee had the coverage.
And Ellaby showed you the strength of his arm from the far hash through a deep comeback to the opposite sideline on a rope, and it got there quick.
Goes for an 18-yard gain. Spotted up at the 44 of the Broncos. Ellaby brings it back down. He's running out of time, and he is brought down and sacked. That time the sack goes to Jack Heflin, his 6th sack of the season, a loss of 3.
Yeah, and he pulled it down, and that's something I saw Ellaby do a lot of on film, and that's the first time he's done it tonight. But it's just being unsettled a little bit, although that looked more like a fake to me, a pump fake, than maybe a pull down. I'll give him the benefit of the doubt on that one, but getting that ball out of his hands has become the issue for him.
So puts him behind the chains after the sack by Heflin. 2nd down and 13 back at the 41. Ellaby. Watson to the near side. Eludes one defender. Pushed out of bounds near the marker. Will have a 1st down at the 45 of Northern Illinois. Pushed out by Matt Lorbeck.
Nice little play by Ellaby, getting the ball out quickly, knowing where to go with it, get it to his man in a hurry, and throw it so his guy can make a move, and then a run after the catch and a 1st down for this Bronco offense.
First catch of the night for Keyshawn Watson, his 19th of the season. Chase Brown into the backfield for Western Michigan for the 1st time tonight. And it's Brown who gets the carry straight ahead for 2 or 3 to the 43, met there by Kyle Pugh.
And Brown's a guy that'll get in there and get some touches. He's kind of more of an edge type player, receiver, but he's got good speed and he can make moves too. A true freshman that going to hopefully for the Broncos carry on the mantle of the good running backs they've had here for quite a while now.
Yeah, there aren't a ton of carries to go around after Bellamy and Bogan, but for Brown, that was his 63rd rush attempt of the season. Give it to him again. He's just shy of the 40 of Northern Illinois. Antonio Jones-Davis bringing him down, a gain of 3.
And this is the kind of methodical offense that I saw from Western Michigan last week when they did a really nice job. They held the ball for 42 minutes against Ball State, and that's kind of their plan tonight too. They want to hold the football, slow things down, keep their defense rested, and take advantage of their opportunities.
Looking at a 3rd and 5. They are 2 of 4 on 3rd down tonight. That's Ricci in motion. Here comes some pressure. Ellaby fires down the sideline too far. Watson almost got a fingertip on it, and had he caught that, was going to head into the end zone. Jalen Embry, number 3, with the coverage.
And you wonder if Watson was held because his shoulder pads are out. He got grabbed, and no question about it, but it did not get called. Pretty good throw from Ellaby. Got air under it. Chance where his guy could run underneath it. But they facing this. Well, what's going on here? They're moving the.
Now you called it, Ray. Embry 3, Northern Illinois
they did call it.
Called for holding. You nailed it, Sherlock Holmes there with the shoulder pad.
I didn't see a flag, but I saw a shoulder pad.
I didn't see a flag either, Ray.
So that's a first down, keeping this drive going.
Absolutely. Up to the 30. Bogan now back in as the back. Ellaby going to give it to Jamari on the carry for just a couple of yards on first down. I don't see that very often where we all kind of, except for Quint down there, we missed the flag.
Yeah, I didn't even hear an announcement about a penalty. I'm like, what are they doing? Well, penalty was called. Okay.
Jamari Bogan.
I did sift through the evidence pretty good, though.
Yeah. Way to go, lawyer.
Thank you.
Well, Bogan trying to get a kick started. Guy who had 105 rushing yards and a couple of touchdowns last week at Ball State. It's the big tight end Odell Miller. Came in motion back to the right side. Ellaby's pass, and it is brought down by Watson, who got his, incomplete. He got his right hand on it. Then I thought for a moment he gathered it, but it hit the ground incomplete.
Yeah, that's a drop. I mean, that thing got on him, and then it went like around his back. He looked like a globetrotter trying to bring it in or something, spinning around the back first, but wasn't able to reel it in. And those are the kind of little mistakes that will add up. They forces now a 3rd down and 8.
And again, 2 of 4 on 3rd down. Got helped out thanks to the penalty on the last one.
Reed in the slot has a man off in coverage. I would think going over there.
Ellaby looks his way and then throws underneath, but over the head of Bellamy. There's pressure coming, though, from Antonio Jones-Davis, and I think Ellaby was wanting to get rid of that thing much sooner than he wanted to.
And you're right. It was all about the pressure as the blitz is coming down from the bottom of the screen, and nobody there to pick it up. And Jones-Davis had a run through, and that's why Ellaby had to get rid of the football so quickly.
Well, Petty missed from 36, but remember the laces weren't spun around. Nick Mahalik on the hold. This is a 45-yard attempt from just inside the right hash. Good snap. That ball's away. It's got the distance, and it is good. So Gavin Petty, a true freshman from Granville, Michigan, Granville High School. 45-yard field goal. Where were the laces, Ray?
The laces were right. Makes it easy.
10-7 score. Western.
ESPN College Football, brought to you by Philadelphia Cream Cheese. It must be the Philly.
Buster Bronco's not cold tonight. Staying warm.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind wearing a Bronco suit tonight just to stay warm.
Or with some of the fans. They're wrapped up. We have over 10 minutes to go in this first half. From Kalamazoo, Michigan, Northern Illinois and Western Michigan closing out their regular season. And thanks to the career-long 45-yard field goal for freshman Gavin Petty, it's a 10-7 Western Michigan lead. Freshman Nick Mahalik to kick off. A lot of freshmen on the kicking side for Western Michigan.
All freshmen.
Kokasulis flagged down. He's brought down at about the 33 by the kicker, freshman Nick Mahalik.
Yeah, that flag's all the way back around the 25-yard line, and you know what that means.
Our referee Gene Sujak has the call.
During the return, holding number 25, receiving team. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul after enforcement. 1st and 10.
Coming up Saturday, 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific on ABC. Notre Dame looks for an undefeated season. They like to go to 12-0 and a berth in the college football playoff. They take on old rival USC at the Coliseum. The Irish and Trojans have split the last 4. USC's won the last 2 at the Coliseum. You can also watch that on the ESPN app.
And I think Notre Dame is going to roll it big time and get themselves ready for the playoffs. And they'll be getting Ian Book in the mix again after coming back last week. And that's a pretty good completion percentage right there for throwing it around the old ball yard. And it's not like he's just throwing little dinks and dunks either. He can get it down the field.
Childers slung down at the 16 by Ralph Holley. It's going to be a loss of 2, so that's the 4th sack tonight.
Yeah, and that's number 3 for Holley. I mean, although I don't know if I would call this a sack, I'd like to look at it. I think this is a run. This is a quarterback power draw. So give him a tackle for a loss, but he's been all in that backfield tonight.
He came in with 3 sacks on the season and was just about doubled that. 3rd down and 9. Childers far side, in and out of the hands, incomplete. Spencer Tears, 4th down.
Another drop by the Huskies receivers. They had several of them last week that really were backbreakers, critical downs, and this one doesn't help them any either.
And that second half, that loss to Miami of Ohio, their first conference loss of the season.
And I kept watching that game, and I'm like, this is a typical Northern Illinois game. Defensive struggle, playing it close, and they'll pull it out in the end, but they never did.
Matt Ferentz's punt. They're going to mark that out at the 48, so really good starting field position for Western Michigan after a 36-yard punt. But Northern Illinois has already clinched the MAC West Division, so they know 10 days from now they'll be playing at Ford Field in Detroit in the MAC title game. The team that controls their destiny in the East is Buffalo. If they beat Bowling Green on Friday, they clinch the East and would play Northern Illinois. But here's what the other teams need. They need a Buffalo loss, an Ohio win. Ball State leading Miami right now on ESPN Plus 14-7. Ohio needs some help as well. They play Friday at Akron. Or against Akron.
Yeah, I like Buffalo in that deal. I mean, to beat Bowling Green, I don't think it's going to take a whole lot for them, but they still have to get it done, and I think that'd be a great MAC championship game. Buffalo against these Huskies here.
It'll be a handoff to Bellamy. You know, you just look at recent history for Northern Illinois. You know, they've really been the beast of the MAC West Division over the last decade.
Yeah, this is their 7th out of the last 9 years of West Division championship, and that means that Rod Carey's got something going on and does a great job with this program. And you know, the other one that amazed me is they are 21-4 in midweek MAC games since 2010. They just, that spotlight's on them and they take care of business.
Yeah, we asked Coach Carey about that success during the midweek games, and he said, well, he thinks there's possibly a number of factors. There's a flag on this play here. And perhaps the fact that they don't do morning weights when they have the midweek games. They haven't practiced in pads, they said, since the BYU week. So there's some things they do to kind of take some pressure off their body.
He keeps them fresh, but I think he's also a little modest. He gets them ready to play on these big games. He understands the spotlight that they have. The whole country's watching, and it helps in recruiting
They're
so much.
They're offsetting fouls. Personal foul. Illegal helmet contact. Hands to the face. Number 99, defense. personal foul, illegal helmet contact, hands to the face. Number 67, offense. Those penalties offset, third down.
So left guard Curtis Doyle of Western Michigan and defensive tackle Ben Leroy of Northern Illinois called on those.
Mark, I think last week was a rare case for NIU. You're losing a midweek game. Penalties, just a general sloppiness, turnovers. Usually this is a team that doesn't beat themselves.
Oh, no doubt.
And last week against Miami of Ohio, that wasn't the case.
You know, 9 penalties for 90 yards, 5 holding calls.
See the hand battle up at the top of your screen there. That was the hands to the face where they were just
you do
beating
me,
each other about the head.
I can do one better.
Yeah. I think there was some eye gouging going on.
Ellaby steps up, throws near side, caught in stride by Reed, steps out at the 41, first down Broncos.
That's really impressive what Ellaby did there. He had Sutton Smith coming around the edge, and he steps up, climbs the pocket into that safe zone. Watch him move up in the pocket to create the room to make this throw. That is really good work by that freshman quarterback.
So first down for the Broncos. Ellaby now 5 of 10, nearing 100 yards passing here in the first half. Bellamy flips it, reversed. Reed, he's being chased, and he's tackled for a loss back at midfield by Sutton Smith, and they lose 9 yards on first down.
Yeah, it was Antonio Jones-Davis, the middle linebacker, who shot through there. He saw the reverse coming, and he made the play initially, and then Smith cleaned it up.
Sutton Smith is a time bomb in this game. They are showing him no individual special attention in terms of a tight end or running back chip. He's already got 1 sack, perhaps 2 TFLs, and I think he could have an even bigger night if Western continues to ignore him.
Yeah, and they didn't block him again. Now they tried to run away from him, Quint, but you're right. I mean, they didn't even block him on the 1 sack that he had tonight.
Busted through. Here's Chase Brown. He gets up to the 40. You don't hear any ticking down there, do you, Quint, on that time bomb Sutton Smith?
He's something else. I mean, when you see him in person, he's listed at 6'1", 237. I'm guessing he's somewhere in the 6-foot range, 220. But those numbers are really less important than the leverage, the power, and the fast twitch that he plays with. It's truly amazing to see a defensive end at his size just stand up 300-pound tackles.
Yeah, he's a redshirt junior. Could come out, Ray. I mean, where does he project NFL-wise?
I would think he should play another year and pack on a little more size, a little more strength, and keep showing what he showed.
Ricci, the tight end. He had 7 catches last week at Ball State. There's his first of the night for 12 yards and a first down.
And tight ends become young quarterbacks' best friends because they're easily accessible, and Ricci's so good at getting open that he's really a security blanket for this young quarterback. You see him, he's just going to bust it over the middle and get himself open.
Out to the far side is Reed. Out of bounds at the 25. Clock rolling, 5.5 minutes to play in this first half. Broncos trying to tack onto a 3-point lead.
Nice little pickup on first down. They've kept Ellaby ahead of the chains for the most part tonight and taken the pressure off their young quarterback, and he's responded.
Yeah, Ellaby now with 3 straight completions on this drive. Play fake and a drop by Reed. Should have been 4 for his last 4 on the drive, but I think Reed started a run before he caught it.
Yeah, just a total lack of concentration. Got to look it all the way in, even if you can catch really good, which you can.
Second drop of the night for Western Michigan. Brings up a 3rd down and 6. Let's see what the call from Tim Lester turns out to be.
Enjoyed chatting with Coach Lester again. He's always such an upbeat guy, even when things aren't going necessarily good for him. He's one of those half-full guys. I enjoyed chatting with him.
Ellaby fires, and that's off Ricci, incomplete.
That's consecutive drops. There's no reason for it. I mean, these are good throws from Ellaby, and now all of a sudden you got to bring the kicker out, but it isn't because your quarterback isn't drilling it. I mean, This is 2 consecutive good throws from Ellaby. Good reads, good decisions. And he's not getting the help.
42-yard attempt.
Gavin Petty earlier in this quarter, a career long 45-yarder. This one will be from 42 and off the left hash.
If he gets the laces right, he should make it.
He's got the distance. Knocks that home. And I think they got the laces situation
got
worked
that
out.
figured out. Laces out, baby.
He missed from 36 his first attempt, but the laces hadn't been spun in the right direction. But now the hold from Mahalik, another good one.
Yeah, let's see. Where are they? Oh, perfect. No laces whatsoever.
.452 to play, first half from Waldo Stadium in Kalamazoo. Final Tuesday action of the season, the regular season finale for these teams. 13-7 Western Michigan leading Northern Illinois. A couple of field goals from freshman Gavin Petty of 45 and the last one from 42. Right now the difference in the game.
Now the ball falls off the tee. We got to get that thing going
Yeah,
again.
the wind's really whipping now, left to right. Those are the biggest gusts we've felt all night, probably in the 15-mile-an-hour range.
How's that wind feeling down there, Q?
Not a bad night at around 30 degrees, but that wind will change things quickly. My face is starting to go numb.
We get you warm during the half, man, and send you out for half number 2 all warmed up. That's into the end zone. Well, Ray, let's take a look at your group of 5
It
favorites.
starts with UCF, obviously. I think they're the top, and there's not a whole lot of conversation about that one. But Utah State's right up there. I think this is a good football team that probably going to win that Mountain West. Now, they got to take on Boise this week. That'll determine things. And I have Fresno ahead of Boise because I think Utah State's going to knock Boise off. And then you're going to get Fresno State and Utah State in that Mountain West championship game.
And Quentin and I saw Jordan Love in Utah State at BYU earlier this year. And Jordan Love, for me, is one of the best quarterbacks not many people know a lot about. And I think Quentin would back that up as well. Here's a handoff and a carry for about 28 for a gain of 3 for Marcus Jones. Q, I know you remember that game. Well, we were both impressed like crazy from Jordan Love.
No, that offense, high tempo, RPOs, he's terrific. And they have like one of each. Like they have a great slot receiver, a tall down the field threat on the outside, and a gritty running back. And that team getting off the bus, I got to tell you, they remind me kind of Land of the Misfit Toys.
Yeah.
but they play their butts off. They are well coached and play hard.
Yeah, they dominated BYU that night. Matt Wells has a really good team that has a good chance of winning that Mountain West Conference. Here's a running right for Marcus Jones. He's going to lose a couple of yards. Kent Finley over there to make the hit.
Hayward as well jumped up in there and made the stop. And this offense was running a little better, I thought, when they were throwing the ball around on earlier downs, and they were able to loosen this defense up. But the running game tonight has not been what we've come to expect from these Huskies thus far.
7 tackles for loss tonight for the Western Michigan defense.
Only 28 rushing yards for Northern Illinois thus far.
On 3rd and 9, Childers plenty of time to throw. Now that time winding down, and he is sacked by Ali Faid, and that's sack number 4 for the Broncos defense.
And Faid came out of nowhere as Coach Energy Esposito is excited about what his guys are doing, and they're getting after it. No doubt, maybe what they needed was just a little fresh change, because they're flying around tonight. And Faid, he was like disappeared in a pile and then popped up out of there somehow and got the sack.
So clock running, under 3 minutes to go. Matt Ferentz punt, angling towards the near side. It's going to be down by Northern Illinois at the 49. So great field position for Western Michigan. And we talked about how Tim Dowse was let go as a defensive coordinator after last week's loss by Western Michigan. Lou Esposito, who was the co-defensive coordinator and D-line coach, named the interim DC. We had a chance to visit with him, and I think he's got to be pretty pleased with what his defense has done so far tonight.
Yeah, and he said there won't be a whole lot of changes middle of the season. There's, we'll throw a few new wrinkles in terms of coverages in, but he said his biggest impact was going to be the energy. His goal was to get these guys jumping up and down, flying around, and getting after it. And I tell you what, he's been successful thus far.
Tim Dowse was really well liked within this program. The players I spoke to pregame said it was kind of like a slap in the face and got everyone's attention. Said they had a great week of practice, better than prior to the Ball State game. But certainly, there was a certain hurt, guys, when you lose a man like Tim Dowse from your program. I think it was a little bit of a wake-up call.
Yeah, Tim Lester mentioned that same thing. Hard to do to let go a friend and a really good coach, but something they felt they had to do at this point.
The way they were trending, and then the defense just from last year was just not improved, and that was the expectation, was to get better, and they didn't. And I mean, I get it. I don't necessarily like it, and I hate to see guys, have to pack up and move in the middle of a season. Nobody likes that, but it's something that had to be done here, and so far so good in terms of how these Western Michigan players have handled it.
Pressure on that last play by Corcoran forced Ellaby's throw short to Eskridge. So a call from Tim Lester on 3rd down at 7, back near midfield now.
There's Sutton Smith down at the bottom, Corcoran at the top, two good edge rushers.
Here comes Smith. Here's the handoff, and Bellamy broke one tackle, and where he comes down, we'll see about the spot. He's really close, might be a little short. Corcoran came back to make the tackle. It's 4th and looks like less than a yard.
Yeah, this is the area of field where you go for it. I mean, it's just 4th and 1. You're in plus territory. You got a lead. This is time to push it a little bit.
And movement by Ricci, but it wasn't called initially, and now it is.
It took the Huskies to point it out. But yeah, Ricci just leaned forward and fell out of his stance. No question about it. A false start.
And now that changes things.
Yeah, now you have to punt.
To a 4th and 6, and out comes the punting unit.
False start. Number 15, offense. 5-yard penalty remains. 4th down.
Yeah, and he's just
Northern Illinois has elected to have the clock start on the snap.
Just didn't have the signals right.
So Northern Illinois, as you heard, letting the clock start on the snap after the first penalty of the night against Western Michigan.
Costly, because they had a chance to extend that drive and maybe their lead.
Cole Tucker back to receive the punt. Fair catch, and it's taken at the 14. 33-yard punt for Mahalik. So Northern Illinois has all 3 of their timeouts. A minute 38 to play in the first half. We're backed up inside their own 15. What's I think they thinking here?
Start out with a run or draw or maybe a screen, something innocuous that won't put you in too much jeopardy, and maybe pop something, and then you can get into field position where you can open up a little bit. But last thing you want to do is turn it over or make a mistake down here. I'd expect just to run up the gut and see what happens.
Well, he throws, and a strike to DJ Brown to the 21 for 6 yards on 1st down.
Yeah, and with Western backed off so much, you can do that right down the field.
Lost the football. Still loose, and Northern covers it up. The Huskies are very fortunate. Jordan Steckler recovers for Northern Illinois, but Western Michigan had a chance to pick that up.
Corbin Moment almost had his moment. It rolled right into his hands. Watch 56. I mean, this is a gift. Pick that up and go. And he wasn't able to do it. And fortunately for the Huskies, they jump back on top.
Charge timeout. Western Michigan.
Gali
number
Fayette
2. It'll
forced
run
the
30
fumble.
seconds. Please set the game clock.
And it
to 1
stays with
minute,
Northern
9
Illinois,
seconds,
and they
please.
avoid trouble with just a minute left. Well, you can stream college football all season long on ESPN Plus. You can start your free trial today by downloading the ESPN app or visiting ESPNplus.com. In fact, there's some action on there right now as well. Ball State taking on Miami on ESPN Plus.
Lou Esposito over there trying to get his defense charged up, but they did a nice job. They forced another turnover there, and they weren't able to fall on it. Had their chances, but they're knocking it loose. You got to wonder if Western, with just one timeout left, might want to use that, see if they can get the ball back.
Northern Illinois, one turnover tonight. They also turned it over on downs and nearly turned it over on that last play. Look at the run. Childers still bouncing around. Out to the 23s, about 2 yards short of the first down. Dropped by Eric Sua. And Western Michigan going to use that timeout. And
Absolutely.
Western Michigan has used their final timeout.
Make them
It'll
punt
run
and also
30
give
seconds.
yourself a chance with the football with 50+ seconds left. You never know what will happen there.
Yeah, game clock's got to be some time added to the game clock. I thought it's a good clock management by Coach Lester. He's going to make them punt into the wind. Perhaps they'll get some pressure here. And we've seen their field goal kicker clear from 45 with ease. So, you know, with the wind, who knows? Maybe a 50-yarder is within his reach.
Yeah, that last, the big one he banged through was good for well beyond the 47 yards. So not out of the realm of possibilities.
It's hit from 45 and 42.
He's also got Jaden Reed back there, who is a guy that could take it the distance.
Yeah, he had a 93-yard punt return touchdown against Delaware State earlier in the season. The short punt, fair caught at the 48 of Western Michigan by Reed, and after the 31-yard punt, no timeouts for Western Michigan, but see what Caleb Ellaby, the true freshman quarterback, can do. And Quint, you've seen Ellaby. Ray and I had seen him in past weeks, and he seems to be making some more steps in the right direction tonight.
Yeah, he seems like he's really taking positive steps. Now, on this little mini drive here, he's going to work the outside, which is right in his wheelhouse. That's what he's doing well right now. You know, Coach has said that stuff over the middle gets a little murky for him in terms of his decisions and his vision. But on this drive, he should keep this outside the numbers.
He's thrown a couple of nice deep balls tonight, too. See if he airs one out.
He's got 109 yards passing here in the first half. Ellaby stepping up under duress and is sacked by Sutton Smith.
You're not going to slow him down.
Second sack of the half for Smith, number 11 on the year to lead the MAC.
There's Sutton Smith at the bottom of the screen. He's turned inside. There's no doubt he's coming at you. And again, Quint, as you were pointing out early, they did not help on him. Left him one-on-one with the tackle, and you saw the result.
They set up the screen to Bellamy, who was about one more broken tackle away from maybe breaking that, and he gets close to a first down at the 44.
That clock keeps running. Should be.
It is indeed down to 15 seconds. Quick snap, handoff, Bellamy. That's up the middle to the 48, or to the 38. They don't have any timeouts.
Yeah, they need to clock it right now, real quick, and give yourself a chance to line up and snap it.
Looks like they're going to try one play here.
All right.
Ellaby throws. It's caught. And that's going to be the end of the half.
I tell you, Mark, they gave him a first down. Why didn't the clock stop?
Oh, they did give him a first down.
Why didn't they clock it?
They moved the chains and put first down up on the chains, and I'm not sure why the clock didn't stop.
Wow, I thought from the spot maybe they were a little short, but Quinn, I guess that's a good question.
And that's what Tim Lester's talking about right now.
Yeah, and he's got a legitimate beef, although I didn't think they got the first down myself.
If we could go back and look at that, but they put first down up on the chain. Now maybe the chains were incorrect. And that's what Tim Lester is asking. I'll ask him about that.
So a bit of an unusual into the half, some confusion perhaps.
All right, here's the play. Well, this was actually the play afterwards. It was the play prior to that. That's clearly a first down, but they did give him a first down on the one that we were discussing. So the clock did not stop. Sure, they got a beef, but there's
Coach,
nothing we can do.
What did the officials tell you about that last call? We thought it might be a first down. What'd you ask them?
That my thing was that a 10-second play? Because we snapped it with 10 seconds left, and they said clock expired, so clock expired.
So it was no first down. The clock didn't stop.
It was a first down, but they said the clock had already expired. So it is what it is. We move forward. Keep playing great defense. Keep grinding it out. Young kid, we got to give him some more time, and keep pounding the rock, and we'll be in good shape.
What has been the transformation for your defense?
The energy. They're playing with great energy. They're playing with passion. They're playing together. They're attacking, and it's fun to watch.
Thanks, Coach. Thanks.
Cue with head coach Tim Lester of Western Michigan. I think they didn't get their own clock guy to stop the clock there at the end of the half. So that's the way the first half ends. But Western Michigan, a good performance for them in half number one. They have a 13-7 lead. Halftime report coming up after the break. We're about ready to start the second half from Waldo Stadium in Kalamazoo. Western Michigan has the 13-7 lead over Northern Illinois. Great to have you with us tonight for this Tuesday Maction, along with Ray Bentley, Quint Kesnick down on the field. I'm Mark Neely. Ray, how about the defense for Western Michigan and new interim defensive coordinator Lou Esposito? Only 23 yards rushing for Northern Illinois. Had 4 sacks as well in that first half.
Yeah, they've been really good on defense here, and that's something that they've needed drastically, and then most of it is basically through the pass rush, although they have stymied the run. But Osua gets that sack right there, and then Hoskins, he comes in and makes a couple of plays as well. Excuse me, Holly makes a couple of sacks as well. So this defense has been outstanding. They've played with great energy for Lou Esposito, and they've only blown one coverage that I've seen, and that allowed the big play, the touchdown for Northern Illinois.
Just 7 points allowed in the first half tonight for that Western Michigan defense. What is on Rod Carey's mind, the Northern Illinois head coach? Q had a chance to catch up with him.
We've been sloppy, the words of Rod Carey. Also talking about how they've become one-dimensional in terms of the way they're running their offense, and he wants them to be more aggressive offensively here in this second half. It sounds as if they're going to open things up maybe a little here and start chucking the ball around the lot a little more. You know, their downfield passing game isn't what they do best, but maybe they're going to open things up a bit.
Yeah, Q, Ray, you were talking in that first half, especially later in the first half, that they kind of got away from throwing the ball on early downs.
Yeah, and I think they need to do that, and that's where they've had their limited success thus far, is taking the ball, throwing it around the yard. The running game has not been good, but I've seen way too much east and west type running rather than running it right up at you, which is what they usually do.
Huskies going to get the ball to begin the half. You see the play selection. Western Michigan more balanced in their 40 plays, slightly more rush than pass, but definitely a run-heavy offense in the first half for Northern Illinois. We'll see if that starts to change a bit here as we get into half number 2. 13-7 Western Michigan, a team that would love a win tonight, which would be win number 7. Remember last year they were bowl eligible with 6 wins, but were one of 3 teams that did not receive a bowl bid. They don't want to suffer that same fate this year. But Northern Illinois does not want to go into the MAC championship game 10 days from now with back-to-back losses.
No, that's for sure. And they want to play like MAC champions, and they have not done that here in the first half.
Kokasulis stopped shy of the 20. Well, we know the second half last week for Northern Illinois was not a good one at Miami of Ohio. You combine that with the first half tonight.
Yeah, and that's pretty rough production, and all the turnovers in those last 6 quarters, and that is not what we've grown accustomed to see out of this offense. And they've got to get this thing fixed, or they're going to go limping into that MAC title game a week from Friday.
Only 23 rush yards in the first half. They do come out throwing for Northern Illinois, but Tears had to dive, but could not come up with an incomplete.
Field is an incomplete pass.
Not a good throw. Marcus Childers hurried that one. His feet weren't set. He didn't get it out there with great intent. They're kind of just flopping around tonight, this offense. I haven't seen intensity, focus, a lot of energy from them, or excitement.
Eye of the Tiger. This team lacks the eye of the Tiger since they've clinched.
And that's sometimes a tough thing to get back too. I mean, you're rolling along and all of a sudden you take a break and it's like, where am I?
Here's Harbison. And Quint either watched Rocky or Role Models recently.
I love the Eye of the Tiger. It's a constant.
It's a way of life, brother.
It's an edge that this team always has played with. I mean,
No
this
doubt.
team always has that. I don't quite see that right now. There's a hunger, a chip. It's not quite there right now.
Can they find it on 3rd down and 5 on the first possession of the second half? Long look to the sideline. Childers stepping up, looking like he wants to run, and he will do so. And takes off and is bumped down at the 33. First down thanks to the run of 10 yards for Childers.
Great job of Childers acting like he was going to throw the ball to keep Alex Grace from coming up and tackling him. And they also got good protection from the left tackle. Watch Max Sharping. As nobody going home when Mr. Sharking's on him. I mean, he's just pushing people out of the way.
Balabani bringing down Harbison. Picks up 5. Right back up to the line goes the Huskies offense.
They need some tempo here. Will help them out.
And there's a design run for Childers. Falls forward to the 41, leaving him about 2 yards short of the first down. Bringing up a 3rd and short.
Trying to make some yards behind Max Sharping. That's where most of their yards go. 15 of their 23 yards that they ran for in the first half came behind Sharping. That's where they're going to run the football to that left side when they need it. They need it now.
Keeping it. Hit hard, but near the marker is Childers. Corvin Moment came up to make the hit.
I think he got there. They mark it right at the 43-yard line, then they'll give it to him.
They have stopped the clock for the first down. We got a little more clarification about the end of the first half. That apparently the clock did stop for the first down, but started quickly. And Western Michigan didn't.
They didn't spike the
Spike the
football.
ball, yeah. And the clock ran out after the play. Here's Childers rolling out to the sideline. It's a catch here by Dennis Robinson. He's an interesting guy. He's 6'5" and really has become a little bit more of the offense the last 4 or 5 weeks.
Yeah, I mean, he's stepped right out of the catalog. That's a good looking wide receiver right there. You know, the question is, can he match the looks with the play?
It's his first catch of the night, 12th of the season. Here's DJ Brown coming around the near side. The 44 of Western Michigan for a couple of yards. Make it a gain of 3.
And this offense is slowly starting to build a little momentum, but I don't see the eye of the tiger that Quint was talking about. I don't see it. I don't know. They just look out of sync.
Hey, it's a process, right? The eye of the tiger just doesn't like suddenly appear.
Yeah, you got to earn it.
Here is the 9th play of this drive for the Huskies. Quick pass out to Tears, run out of bounds at the 40. He gains 7. That's Stephon Claiborne, cornerback on the coverage.
To me, that's the best route that Childers throws, is the quick out. I mean, he just gets it out of his hand on time with a lot of rhythm and tempo on the football.
Another 3rd and manageable, 3rd and 3. And there is Childers. Wesley French on the tackle, but another first down Huskies.
And that's something this offense has always done, is run the quarterback extremely well. And when they need something, when they need a spark, they go back to their heritage, and they like to keep it in his hands.
Childers on first down, took a long look deep downfield and now decides to take off with it. Got a bit of a block to free him to the 31, where he's brought down by Wesley French for a 5-yard gain.
And Western Michigan had, I mean, they were lighting them up. They were bringing a lot of pressures in that first half. This drive so far, it's just been a 4-man rush, and they have not been able to get home.
Hand off, Harbison still battling. He got within about a yard of the first down, tackled by A.J. Thomas. I think the tempo is helping Northern Illinois here.
Yeah, I think it is. I think it's getting them moving a little bit, getting them going, and it's catching Western Michigan on their heels.
Another 3rd and short, 3rd and 1, and a first down on the run by Harbison.
Another deal where Western was not ready to play. They, in fact, had Northern Illinois seen it, there was a man on the edge uncovered as the corner, Dowles, was trying to get over there.
They've converted 4 third downs already on this drive, have the Huskies, to begin this second half. And on first down, here comes the pass. Childers near side at the 5, caught. Juwan Wesley, first and goal inside the 5, mark it at the 4, 19-yard gain.
And they're going tempo again, but that was a great throw from Marcus Childers. Across his body, across the field, dropped it in there perfectly.
Childers hand off. Harbison falling forward into the end zone. Nope, they have not signaled touchdown. The official on the far side seemed to, but the line judge on this side did not.
Yeah, it looked like that left elbow went down before he swung the ball over the top and got it into the end zone.
With the Huskies right back to the line with this tempo that's treated them well. Harbison trying to get in on the 16th play of the drive and does so. Touchdown NIU. With Childers really good on that drive and finishing it off.
And that, I think you're right, the tempo was huge. I mean, 16 plays it took them because it seemed like they were muddling around, but they kept getting increments, no really big plays, except for that last throw down that got him inside the 5.
So the Childers 1-yard touchdown run and the extra point up and good, and it gives Northern Illinois the lead at 14-13.
Well, you knew they were going to fight back, and then this was a great drive to start this second half, get them back in control where the MAC champion from the West Division expect to be.
Tuesday action from Kalamazoo. Western Michigan now leading. I bought the fake to Harbison, and I think most of the Western Michigan offense or defense did as well. As Childers cruised in, and I was still looking at Harbison like most everybody else.
You and me both. Great fake by Childers, and engineered a very nice drive to get the Huskies back in the lead in this thing. And 48 yards running on that drive, most of them behind big number 73 Max Sharping, after only churning up 23 yards in the entire first half.
Freshman kicker John Richardson to kick off for Northern Illinois. Brown lets it bounce, and it's going to bounce out of bounds. So it's going to come out to the 35. Well, Friday kick back with a plate of leftovers for these two big matchups. Mackenzie Milton and undefeated UCF taking on South Florida, and then the Big 12 battle, Kyler Murray in Morgantown, OU, and West Virginia. You can always watch both live on the ESPN app anywhere. And a lot of folks talking about Kyler Murray being right back in the Heisman race.
I got him up there, but it's two is to lose. I mean, he's playing better than anybody in the country, in my opinion. But he's a highlight machine waiting to happen. He's fun to watch too.
So Western Michigan from the 35. Bellamy for 2 to the 37. Stopped by Antonio Jones-Davis.
5th tackle of the night for Jones-Davis. I've enjoyed watching him play. That linebacker flies all over the field. He comes up and means business. He's their leading tackler, over 100 now after tonight, and he is the enforcer of this defense.
Yeah, 103 tackles now for him on the year. He had a career high 45 a year ago as a sophomore.
Sits right in that middle where he can get to everything.
Ellaby on that zone read, pulls it out, throws, Reed flips it around, incomplete, and Ellaby, really nice throw, and Reed's second drop for him tonight.
Yeah, the dropsies are hurting this Western offense right now. That would have been a big play. And Reed's got a head of steam going, and this is a perfectly thrown ball. 4th drop now for Western Michigan.
See Ellaby's numbers, 9 of 18 for 135 yards.
Should be 13 of 18 for more yards.
Ellaby on 3rd and 8. throws it deep. Eskridge over the shoulder, incomplete. And that was a pretty darn nice throw as well. Maybe another quarter step, and that drops right in the breadbasket of Eskridge.
Yeah, I think he flattened it out a little too much. I think a little more quarter of air underneath it, and it drops right in there. But boy, does it show you the arm talent that he has. That's a long throw that is whistling as it gets there.
So 3 and out for Western Michigan to begin this second half from a punt for Nick Mahalik. Spiraling punt. Tucker backs up on, calls fair catch. And that ball's going to roll inside the 10 and be down at the 8.
Almost spun it up on its end.
That ball kind of checked up, had a little funky spin on it. Well, Northern Illinois' first drive of the second half for Aves, 16 plays, a methodical one to the end zone.
Yeah, and really their best drive of the night without a doubt, and led by the quarterback Marcus Childers. He bought time, extended plays with his legs, and then makes a really nice throw across the field to get him down in that range, and then he pumps it across the end zone on an outstanding fake, and the Huskies take the lead, and it's the first and best drive they've had in a while.
So after Nick Mahalik's 55-yard punt, Huskies begin at their own 8-yard line. Childers throws far side. There's a catch by Tears. Tears up to the 16 for a 7-yard gain on first down.
And that's what they've gone back to, what I mentioned, is throwing the ball on first downs, loosening up this defense a little bit, and it worked well for them in the last drive.
Childers again to throw, this time near side for Spencer Tears. They move him to the other side of the formation, and he'll have the first down up to the 20.
And they keep just hacking away. That's, that last drive, 82 yards, but it took them 16 plays, nothing major as far as explosives, but they continue to get it done as Eric Asua is requiring a little attention on the field.
It will also be a
Broncos senior defensive end out of Silver Spring, Maryland. So with the timeout, we step aside quickly as well. Now Northern Illinois, their second possession of the half. Western Michigan's had it once, but the Northern offense starting to find its stride. They have a first down from their own 20.
I thought it was interesting during the break. The Western Michigan group was out on the field doing jumping jacks, jumping around, trying to get energy, and Northern Illinois was just trying to figure out what the next play should be.
Eric Asua did come off under his own power. He was down after that last play. Childers hands it off on first down to Trey Harbison. Knocked off his feet at the 23 by Justin Tranquil and Alex Grace. How about some jumping jack?
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. You see him over there on the right side there, trying to get juiced and loose and ready to play a second half. And no, we just want to know what play we're going to run next. We'll be all right. So we'll see which side garners the most out of that.
It's kept by Childers here. Makes a nice move to get around a defender down the sideline to the 35. You can just tell this is a quarterback who likes to run the football.
He really does, and I think he's better when he does run the football. He even asks the coaches, "Give me the ball, let me carry it early so I can get a hit and get in there and feel like I'm playing football." He has dramatically improved, and he's rushed for 37 yards and a touchdown so far in this half.
46 total rush yards for him tonight.
He's got great feet.
And he's added some moves to his repertoire.
Childers slings it downfield for Tears. Incomplete inside the 30. Pretty well defended by the quarterback, Stephon Claiborne.
Yeah, Claiborne made that play because that was right in Tears' basket for a second there. And then Claiborne came over with a tomahawk and knocked it loose. That's good defense.
Now Claiborne slow getting up.
Timeout for an injured player on the defense.
after seeing that most recent look at it. That was
right
a
through
drop.
the hands. Yeah.
That's what it was. That's just Spencer Tiers not looking it all the way in.
Claiborne a little slower getting up, now coming off the field.
Well, there's rubber pellets on the field, and they might have kicked up into his eyes. He was kind of wiping at his eyes.
The ground up tires, little pellets that are in the artificial turf.
Yeah, you walk down on that and go home, and they're in your socks like sand from the beach.
Well, Childers had 5 consecutive completions before that drop there by Tiers, and that was a really nice throw from Childers.
It was his best deep ball all night, that's for sure.
So they took a shot on first down, 2nd and 10 from their 35. Midway through this third quarter, a 1-point lead for Northern Illinois. Childers doesn't want to go right. He's being chased, so he's going to take off and run it all the way up to midfield, first down. Greg Spears with the tackle, but Balabani was the one that was chasing him in the backfield.
Yeah, it might have been in Marcus Childers' mind to run all along, because he had a couple guys wide open. He just kept moving around waiting for it to totally open up, and then he could run.
Not much there for Harbison, just a yard or so. Balabani that time in on the tackle.
Yeah, this defensive line, Ken Aguirre, part of that play, is doing a nice job of stopping any kind of inside running. Nothing's available right now in there.
After the success of the tempo on that last drive for the Huskies, they're staying in that vein here on this possession. Childers, design run, but that time the Western Michigan defense, Ralph Holly and others sniffed that out a lot more quickly. He does pick up a couple of yards.
Yeah, I don't like that play at all. You either have to run it or run a draw. And that was kind of in between, where he didn't really sell it like he was going to throw it long enough, so nobody took their eyes off him to get their pass responsibilities. And then he just kind of lumbered into the middle of the line. So not a great design on that one.
Interim defensive coordinator Lou Esposito trying to spur his defense again on a 3rd and 6 for Northern Illinois. Here comes some pressure. The pass near side, incomplete inside the 40 for Dennis Robinson. No flags. 4th down.
Really good coverage by Dowles on this one, as Northern Illinois picked up the blitz that the Broncos brought, but the coverage on the edge was glove. I mean, Dowles was all over him, and Esposito is a little happy about things, and there's that energy that he talked about with us, and he's got it, no doubt about it.
There's Ferentz on to punt. He'll try to pin in Western Michigan. Reed going to let that bounce right at the 12 and then kick out of bounds. So pretty well placed there by Matt Ferentz. 36-yard punt, no return, spotted out at the 13 when we come back.
Sutton Smith's been all over it tonight, making plays early on. Got this sack, thwarting a touchdown opportunity. They tried to razzle-dazzle him. He's not putting up with that. He's got 5 tackles leading this Husky defense, 3 of them for a loss, and then a pair of sacks thus far tonight. And they have not been giving him the special attention that we thought he would see. And so I expect he'll continue to be productive until they do.
The king of disruption needs a little extra attention, doesn't he? You would think.
Yeah, and they do have the big tight end lined up over on his side right now, and I've seen him chip him a few times, but for the most part, they just treated him like anyone else.
Western Michigan beginning this drive at their own 13-yard line. Ellaby, strike to Eskridge, using his legs to get, ooh, he slips right at the last moment. If he doesn't slip, he turns what was a 15-yard gain into a lot more.
Yeah, I'm going to give McKee a tackle on that one. I mean, he got his hands on him, so, but he did go a little bit of yards after the catch, and another good read. That's a play, that's a RPO where that's a decision made by Caleb Ellaby to pull that football and throw it out to an open receiver. Played well tonight.
Caleb Ellaby fires a shot for Eskridge on the near side. He drops it right in the basket. Beautiful pass, a completion.
I can't tell you how great that pass is. I mean, that is as good as it gets as far as throwing a deep ball. Out to the outside, away from the defender, and it drops perfectly into the basket. Look at the air he put under that thing. That's how you do it right there.
39-yard gain. First down, Western Michigan inside the 35 of the Huskies. Ellaby, quick throw. That's offline. He and Eskridge not quite on the same page that time, but he was going right back to the hot hand.
Yeah, that was on Eskridge. That's his bad. He should have made that read. But the end of that last play, this ball is perfectly thrown. I mean, it almost set like he set it on a table for him to snatch.
Eskridge, the fastest player on the field. Got to wonder, Ray, when that safety is going to give him some help over the top.
Now would probably be a good time.
Ellaby hands off to Bellamy. Only a yard or so. He's hit by Weston Kramer.
And Devin Haney came on a corner blitz from the Huskies and got in there on that tackle as well. As they're starting to do some different things to trying to get after this quarterback, and one of them is to have it snow a little bit. I don't know how they do that.
Some flurries coming down. Ellaby 2 of 3 on this drive through the air, 77 yards.
Smith on the bottom. See what they do to block him this time.
Do a nice job on him that time, and wide open is the tight end Ricci across the middle. First down at the 20.
Yeah, they bought that extra time. They had Levante Bellamy double up and chip Sutton Smith on his way out, and that created plenty of time for Ellaby to get the read down the field and make the throw.
I'll get that.
Here's Reed getting a block on the edge there and still on his feet, but he's inside the 10.
He's a slippery guy. He is, I'm telling you, one of the best run after the catch receivers in the MAC conference as a true freshman, and he's only going to get better.
Well, his nickname is Bird, and I can only assume that's because he's really hard to catch. You don't catch a whole lot of birds barehanded, do you?
I have never.
Keep trying.
All right, I will.
From the 10, Bogan for just a little yard or so. Second and goal.
Big Jack Heflin doing a nice job in the middle of that Husky line, slowing things down.
Big Jack 6'3", about 285 pounds.
Western taking their time with this one. Struggled a little bit in the red zone last week, although they did score several touchdowns, but got stopped on 3 different occasions.
Ellaby to Brown out of the backfield, and he's tackled at the 2 by Adam Burge.
A nice little matchup where they get that running back who's covered by an inside guy exploding to the edge, and they almost got all the way to the end zone with it.
Bring Bogan back in on a 3rd and goal from the 2.
Yeah, I know what play the Western Michigan faithful don't want to see, and that's that little RPO run they did last week on a 2-point conversion.
I think there's a lot of agreeing with you out there.
Yeah, there wasn't a whole lot of people happy about that situation, but I mean, I like Coach Lester's explanation of what he was trying to do.
Well, Ellaby keeps. Ellaby didn't do that on the 2-point conversion. He was hesitant, but that time he knew what he wanted to do. He kept that football and runs it into the end zone. Touchdown, Western Michigan.
Great read, and they're going to go for 2 again, as they want to be up by, I guess, 7. I don't like chasing points until late in the game. I think you kick this one and you go play football. To go for 2 here, I think it's too early for me. That's just my personal philosophy. I would never do it until the 4th quarter.
Coach Lester is an analytics guy, so clearly I guess his numbers are saying go for it here, right?
And they must be, because you're right. He does. He gets the analytics done, and he'll go with his gut, but he usually follows it.
Ellaby on the 2-point conversion. All alone is the Bird. Jaden Reed and they convert the 2-point conversion to take the 7-point lead.
A little wheel route just scooped him around to the edge. And it was wide open, and Bronco fans are saying, where was that last week? You know they are.
Nice drive by the Broncos.
It was. I mean, they got it done on this one, the deep throw by Ellaby, and then the touchdown run, and you cap it off with some razzle-dazzle for the 2-point play, and next thing you know, if you're Western Michigan, with a $1:28 left in the third, you've got yourself a nice little lead here.
2-point conversion successful. The last Western Michigan drive used under 4 minutes and needed only 8 plays to go 87 yards. They started at their own 13. Get the touchdown and the 2-point conversion and lead it by 7 with still a minute and a half to go in the third quarter from Kalamazoo. And that goes out into the end zone.
Ruling on the
Saturday,
field
8 Eastern, 5 Pacific on ABC. Notre Dame looking for their undefeated season, trying to go 12-0 and a berth in the college football playoff. They take on old rival USC at the Coliseum in LA. Irish, the Trojans have split the last 4 meetings. USC, those won the last 2 at the Coliseum. Brian Kelly 5-3 as the head coach against USC. And
they just keep winning. They're a pretty good football team, especially with the way Book's throwing the ball around now. I've been impressed with the growth and maturity.
That ball's picked off. Drake Spears. He's out of bounds, but Drake Spears with the interception, his first of the season. But
there is a flag down there.
Yeah, there is a flag at the 25.
Childers looks confused. Hey, what happened there? He upset with himself a little bit.
Little deja vu last week.
Right. That's he threw an out route that got taken, got housed last week that cost him the ball game, the winning points.
Yeah, 28-yard pick 6 in the third quarter of last week's game proved to be the points to beat him. Second time he's allowed a pick 6 this year.
Ruling on the field is an interception. It'll be 1st and 10 for the defense. Sideline warning. Western Michigan bench. They're warning, no yardage assessed. 1st and 10.
So it is an interception for Spears.
Yeah, just not a good decision by Childers. Spears, you see, he's just playing the flat from that alley position. He just takes his normal drop, and I don't know what Childers was looking at, because Spears is there the entire time, right in front of the receiver, Wesley, and just threw it right to him.
And Spears definitely stepped on the sideline. You can see that. If he doesn't step on the sideline, that's a pick 6. So the second turnover of the night committed by NIU. And the Western Michigan offense right back on the field. They take over at the 24.
Boy, they can put this one firmly in their favor with a score here.
After what is Spears' first career interception. Ellaby going to take off with it. Inside the 15, lowers the shoulders. Down at the 13, another first down.
And I guarantee you Tim Lester's going to give him sliding lessons on Monday. No need sliding on this one, as Ellaby sees it open up, man-to-man coverage, so there's nobody sitting waiting for him. He makes the most of it.
12-yard run there for the quarterback of the Broncos.
They love to throw it to the tight end, Giovanni Ricci, down in this area.
Instead, he's going to try for number 6, Drake Harris, right near the pylon, incomplete.
Oh, that hit Harris right in the 6. He should have had that one. That should have been a touchdown. That ball was eminently catchable.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, must have snuck up on him, didn't see it, because it went right between his hands and bounced off his chest.
5th-year senior Harris out of Grand Rapids, Michigan. Spent 3 years at University of Michigan. That's 5 drops now tonight on the Western Michigan receivers. Give to Bellamy, and he puts it on the ground, and here comes Sutton Smith.
He's gone.
A game-changing play right there, and now they're an extra point away from tying the game with a half minute left in the third quarter.
Wow. That quickly, too. I mean, everything was tilted towards the Broncos' favor, and Tim Lester's like, what do I got to do here? Just a simple run up the middle, and the ball came spitting out. I don't think the exchange was clean. It looked like Bellamy never really had it wrapped up and dropped it right on the ground. Sutton Smith says, thank you, I'll take it, to the house.
87-yard return for Sutton Smith, who was in the right place. He was in the backfield because that's where he normally is anyway.
Where you gotta go.
He just picked it up and took it the other way, 87 yards.
4th career touchdown for Sutton Smith.
Wow. I know he had one earlier this year, blocked a punt and took it in.
Officially an 85-yard return. And now Andrew Gantz for the point after to tie the game. Bit of a high snap, but they get it down. It's up and through, and boom, it's 21 all, Ray Bentley.
Yeah, and that's just shocker right there. And the last thing that Western Michigan expected, that's for sure, is they're on my way in there getting it done, or on their way in there. And here's Sutton Smith coming off the edge. Now, he doesn't necessarily make the play, but he's there to make the play.
And take it 85 yards the other way.
Yeah, that's a nice little tis the season gift for Sutton Smith.
First turnover of the night for Western Michigan. I'm with you, Ray. There just wasn't a clean exchange there.
Yeah, I don't believe Bellamy ever truly had it wrapped up and put away. Obviously not.
So 28 seconds left now in the third quarter, and a tie game. Patrick Lupro and Chase Brown back deep to receive this kick. End over end. Brown from the 5. Chase Brown takes it out to the 25-26-yard line. Well, we'll see how Western Michigan's offense will respond to their first turnover of the night.
Yeah, they've been moving the ball
really well.
Yeah, and I've been impressed with Caleb Ellaby. I think he's played extremely well, in particular here in the second half. But he's had some drops from his receivers, and he had a running back drop one. And they'll go with Bogan this time in the backfield.
Fakes the handoff to Bogan. Goes down the far side for Eskridge again. He drops it in. He caught it. Ambry drapes all over him. And indeed, that pass play goes for 31 yards.
Yeah, that's just a one-hand snag out of it. This is as good as it gets. I mean, you got to have a little luck involved, but that's pretty good snag.
Use that left arm to bring it in. Ellaby near side, caught at the 35 once again by Eskridge. Number 7's turned into his favorite target here. Last few drives.
You can see some confidence now from Ellaby. I mean, the way he was running around right there and then threw a dart. This kid's ready to play.
What will the fourth quarter hold? Stick around and find out. Well, Western Michigan was an eyelash away from taking a 2-touchdown lead in this game. The ball that Eskridge dropped, and then there was the turnover picked up by Sutton Smith, which he ran 85 yards the other way. So instead of being 28-14, 21 all is our score as we begin this fourth quarter. But Western Michigan, they are driving. They have it at the 35-yard line of Northern Illinois. Ellaby rolls, pump fakes, and now he's sacked. Matt Lorbeck.
That is the third time tonight Ellaby has pumped it and brought it down, and all 3 times he's been sacked. And that's just part of being a younger quarterback, of if you're gonna pump it, you might as well throw it and then throw it incomplete. But he's just eating the football a little bit too much right now, and that's what happened on that one.
First sack for Lorbeck tonight gives him 4.5 sacks on the season. They're a loss of 8. It's 3rd and 9. Here comes more heat. Steps up, deflected, almost picked off.
Well,
Williams.
You won't get an easier opportunity than what Williams got right there, Mark. That was a little bit overthrown. Ellaby moving up in the pocket, got too much behind it. It gets tipped and lands right in the hands. It doesn't get any easier than that, and McKelty Williams just can't hang on to it.
Tucker back to receive the Mahalik punt. England far side. Tucker fair catch that he receives this time at about the 14. Well, Friday, kick back with a plate of leftovers for these two big matchups on ESPN. Mackenzie Milton, unbeaten UCF, taking on South Florida at 4:15 Eastern. Then the Big 12 battle in Morgantown. Kyler Murray and the Sooners taking on Will Greer and the Mountaineers at 8 Eastern, 7 Central. You can always watch both live on the ESPN app anywhere. An offense for the Mountaineers.
Pretty good receivers they got rolling there for Mr. Greer. They'll give Oklahoma all they want. But can they outscore them? That's the question.
And off to Harbison. Ken Finley there, just a 1-yard gain.
And it's been tough sledding between the tackles against this Bronco defense tonight. They've done an outstanding job of not allowing the Huskies to really get a whole lot going with the running game. They're forcing them to do other things, including having Marcus Childers carry the football and then throw it in these empty formations.
Well, we talked to the interim defensive coordinator Lou Esposito. Kind of kept the cards close to the vest. But no doubt stopping that run between the tackles was a point of emphasis. There's a catch for Tears. Stopped by Tranquil, just a 3-yard gain. It's going to bring up a 3rd down and 7.
Let's see if Coach Espo dials up some heat here on this 3rd down. That guy's moving all over the place. Not allowing that Husky offensive line to get a beat on where they're going to be.
Here comes that pressure, handed off. Harbison tackled at the 20, and once again, that pressure pays off for Lou Esposito's Western Michigan defense. Corbin Moment and Eric Asua there.
Yeah, Asua really makes the biggest play. And you're right, Moment got into it as well. But watch him. He's originally blitzing over the center. Now he's just going to keep fighting his way down the line and keep working. And he comes up with an armful of ball carrier.
So 3 and out for the Huskies offense there. And now Western Michigan. That ball bounces past Reed and takes a long Northern Illinois roll down to the 20. So the nice long roll for Northern Illinois. 12 minutes to play, 4th quarter, and a 21-all game. And the true freshman Caleb Ellaby's had a pretty nice night tonight.
Yeah, I thought he played fairly well in the first half. Second half, he's had a couple of drops on him, and he's been lights out, throwing the ball down the field, getting it out of his hands quickly. I think he's made some strides as what they kind of hoped for in putting him out here like this. And Tim Lester told us, you know, it's sometimes we're going to cringe and things like that, but it's really good for Ellaby to get out here and get these kind of reps.
Hand off Bogan. 5 times he's had drops tonight, so he could easily have 20+ pass completions.
Well, he got a block from Odell Miller, the big tight end, on the wham, coming up into the hole. Nice little how do you do there. And that's what this Western offense, I think needs to do is get physical now. Keep running the RPOs and those things, but this is an opportunity to take a football game right here in the fourth quarter at home.
Out to Reed on the edge, where he's out of bounds near that marker.
Another good decision by the young quarterback, Ellaby. A lot of RPOs in this offense, run pass options, and that's right in the wheelhouse of Caleb Ellaby. He's done a nice job of seeing those things and distributing the football where it needs to go tonight.
Needed 7 for the first down. That's what he got. Clock rolling, under 11 minutes to go. Bogan straight ahead, but able to make it up near the 33. Wrapped up by Jack Heflin for 4 yards.
Another run up behind Odell Miller. They're 6'3", 270-pound tight end, and the NFL scouts have come and looked at Miller as a potential offensive guard at the next level because he's such an excellent blocker and he's got such great feet. That's a large man, especially for a tight end coming at people.
Local guy here in Kalamazoo, went to Gold Lake High School. Pressure off the edge, but here's the pass in the direction of Eskridge. It's incomplete. And that Ellaby had some heat coming from that right side.
I don't know if Eskridge ever even saw the football. That was a kind of a bailout by Ellaby where I'm in trouble, throw it away, which is a great step for a young quarterback to understand that situation, live to fight another down here, this one being a third down.
Five at 12 on third down tonight.
What's your plan against Sutton Smith? Top of the screen.
I'd throw it to another 15 at the bottom of the screen. Ricci.
Here comes Smith, and he's got some help. They sack him back inside the 25. Jack Heflin also there with him.
The problem is Zach Novoselsky, the right tackle, did not have any help. And he just gets blown by Sutton Smith. The hands. See how he just reaches and knocks the hands of Novoselsky away and then gets that arm under, and he's around the corner, and it's all over that quick.
He's a game wrecker. Third sack.
We're calling him what the disruption.
Disruption. The king of disruption.
Yeah, and I like Quince as well. That ball into the wind, and it's going to take a bounce towards the sideline and roll out of bounds at the 47-yard line. But just a 29-yard punt at great field position for Northern Illinois when we come back to Kalamazoo. Well, Northern Illinois has already won the MAC West Division. They'll be playing for the MAC title 10 days from now in Detroit, but they're trying to bounce back from their only conference loss. That came last week at home to Miami of Ohio. Meanwhile, Western Michigan, when they lost last week in overtime to Ball State, that gave the MAC West title to Northern Illinois. And Western Michigan has 6 wins. They're bowl eligible, but they would love a 7th to make them more comfortable in getting a bowl bid. They had 6 wins, bowl eligibility last year, but did not receive a bowl bid. After a 27-yard punt, best starting field position of the night for Northern Illinois from their own 48. Brought back down, and Drake Spears envelops Marcus Childers for a 1-yard loss.
Nice job of Spears getting up in there, and he's kind of came from off where he didn't get up in the line and show a blitz, but he closed quickly, and there was no one home for him, and he made the tackle for a loss.
Clock rolling as we're coming up on the 8.5-minute mark of this fourth quarter. Childers looking left, still looking, now decides to take off, tumbled a little bit before he got to Drake Spears. Picks up only a yard, which gets him back to the original line of scrimmage where the drive began, and it's 3rd and 10.
And just a two-man route for the Huskies. They kept extra guys in to protect, so they had plenty of time, but they were covered up and only 2 men running down the field. Nowhere really for Childers to go with it.
Western Michigan rushes 4. Screen pass. DJ Brown, well read. Nothing there. 4th down.
That was a really good play by Corvin Moment, the linebacker. As not only did he get over there and force it to come back inside, then he makes an open field tackle as well.
So the Huskies had their best starting field position of the night and go nowhere. 3 and out. Playing a field position game now, tied at 21 with 7.5 minutes to go. Ferentz looks to pin in the Broncos, and he angles that to the right corner, and that's going to go out of bounds. We'll see where they mark it. He is going to spot it all the way up. Still going.
Still going.
And he's up to about the 17-yard line.
Media timeout.
Timeout. 7:22 to go. 35-yard punt. Don't go anywhere.
Events, sign up now for ESPN Plus.
Back here at Kalamazoo, let's take a look at the MAC East clinching scenarios. Buffalo Friday wins the East. They beat Bowling Green. Miami needing some help. They're helping themselves right now over Ball State in Ohio. Needs a Buffalo loss and a win over Akron on Friday. There's a carry for Bogan. Brought down by Weston Kramer. So really the huge game is obviously Friday at Bowling Green. Buffalo can take care of it themselves.
Right, they get that done, which is kind of what everyone expects. I believe they're close to what, a 2 or 3 touchdown favorite in that game.
Sizable, yeah.
But you never know, and that's why you play them, because Miami and Ohio both still hanging on.
Oh, right there. That was Smith and Novoselsky.
And they're arguing over who it was on.
Yeah, I think Novoselsky's going to see Smith in his nightmares tonight.
Defense, number 15, 5-yard penalty remains, 2nd down.
But that one against Smith.
Smith is kind of smiling about it a little bit, laughing about it, but I mean, here it is. There's no doubt about it. I mean, he went first, did Smith, and that forced Novoselsky to move.
4th penalty against the Huskies tonight for 30 yards. They got 9 penalties for 90 yards, including 5 holding penalties. Their loss last week to Miami of Ohio. Bogans trying to find that crease and does. Bogans breaks another tackle, and he's all the way across the 45. 1st down at the 46 of the Broncos. Lance DeVoe saved the touchdown. 20-yard gain.
Yeah, and it looked like it was all stocked up for Bogan, and then all of a sudden he saw daylight. Watch him kind of get up and hide in there, and then boom, pops out the other end, and he's got a little speed going.
A couple of Northern Illinois defenders ran into each other as well. After the big gainer, Ellaby sacked, and guess who again? Sutton Smith says, hello, I'm still here.
Did such a great job. Now he engaged with Novoselsky and then quickly saw that, hey, I got me a chance here, and how he removed himself from being locked up is what amazes me. Check out the right side of your screen and watch this pass move where he's got hands and then boom, they're gone. It was almost like a push-pull type move, but what makes Sutton Smith so good, I mean, he's fast, he's quick and all that, but it's his hands. They're so strong and quick where you can't get your hands on this guy. You can't block him.
4 sacks tonight, so he now leads the conference with 13. He had 14 a year ago when he was MAC Defensive Player of the Year. Ellaby going to run into another one, but that one is Josh Corcoran. But a flag comes out. Did he get the helmet?
Well, that's
perhaps the targeting.
That's what they're going to look at. I think Ellaby was the most surprised person in the place when he turned around to flip turn, try and get out of there, and he ran right into Corcoran. But with that flag on the ground, that's I mean, I can't think of anything other than targeting as far as what they'd be looking at. See, Ellaby flips around, doesn't know it's coming. To me, that's a football tackle. He hit him in the chest with his face mask.
Targeting, defense, 15-yard penalty from the previous spot.
It's a very slight drop of the helmet, but the crown of the helmet does
under review.
hit the helmet of the quarterback Ellaby. I know what you're saying, Ray, but as you look at the targeting rules, the world we live in today, that is targeting.
And keep in mind, if this carries over, he's got to sit out the first half of the MAC championship game.
Ow, that's a great point.
Yeah, that hurts for sure. I don't know. I'd love to see it again. It looked to me like the contact was in the chest area. Now, you thought the crown of the helmet grazed.
I thought it was helmet to helmet, which doesn't make it targeting automatically helmet to helmet, but it's dipping the head and the crown of the helmet.
See, to me, that's nestled into that shoulder. I don't see that as targeting. I didn't see a forcible blow to the head that snapped it back. I don't know.
Well, you know, from that angle, you're right. Maybe he did get the shoulder. I think from that side, I think it was the shoulder.
Yeah, it's a tough one. I don't know what they're going to call. It's a shame to me if they call targeting, but I would understand it based on, you know, the rules and the way they write the thing and all of that. But that, to me, that's not the kind of hit we're trying to get out of football, is it?
I agree with you. That's football, but some of those plays are targeting by the definition of what targeting is these days. But I think the look we saw from the end zone,
that's football, man. I don't see targeting there, but
from right here, that view made me think that it got him more on the shoulder than in the head. Now, if it's the head or neck area, it's targeting.
Sure, and you can't rule on intent. You don't know what the man's intent was per se, but to me, that was a football play. I don't consider that targeting.
After review, the penalty for targeting is confirmed. Number 12 on the defense is disqualified from further participation in the game. 15-yard penalty from the previous spot. 1st and 10.
But to Quint's point, there's one of the starting defensive ends for Northern Illinois who now has to sit out the first half of the MAC championship game 10 days from now.
Yeah, for that, I don't think it's right, but it's something that they're trying to, you know, I understand, and you have to make this game safer, and you can't have people launching and trying to tear people's heads off, but I didn't think that was the case there.
So not only the loss of Corcoran for the rest of this game and the first half of the MAC title game, but the penalty brings the ball all the way up to the 46 of Northern Illinois. The clock running at just over 5 minutes to play in regulation. It's a carry for Chase Brown. Just a yard and a half. Stopped by Jack Heflin.
Shows you they got a little faith in Chase Brown. I mean, this is crunch time. 5 minutes to go down the stretch, move the ball, and you got a couple of really good backs in Bogan and Bellamy, but they got Chase Brown, the freshman, in there, and because they believe in him, and he's going to be the guy that's going to carry the mail for him down the road. Bellamy just a junior. He'll be back, but Bogan is gone.
Got Reed in the slot on the top part of your screen. Pass comes near side, and the adjustment for Watson, but incomplete.
A little timing route, and they weren't quite on the same page. That'll put them in now at 3rd down and 9. See if the Broncos can respond. Now they are in plus territory. Might be a situation where they would take 2 downs to get this, but we got to see what happens on this third first to see if they get close enough. Shuffling in some personnel.
Clock stopped with 4:20 to go on that incompletion. Caleb Ellaby near side. The grab made, but short of the first down for Keyshawn Watson. Forward progress got him to the 36, and he's about a half yard short.
Yeah, this is definitely go for it territory. I think with just 4th and 1 here, plus 37, trying to win your last home game of the year, you go for it.
Which they are on 4th and a yard. They give it. Oh,
that's so
it's
close.
all going to be on the spot.
Oh, man. Jack Heflin grabbed a hold
Chase Brown.
of Chase Brown and would not let go. And I think this is a first down.
Barely, but I think you're right. Yeah, with the spot, it's being screened right now from our vantage point.
I'd have to measure this one. They're going
Yeah,
to.
I think you have to, don't you? Just to.
Yeah, but it's so close. You got to be sure. I mean, it's, a lot of times you know what yard mark they have to make it to, and if it's there, then they're there. But this one is a little bit past the 36, so I think it's a first down.
I agree. I think, but it's so close, and where you are in the game, you got to do the courtesy for Northern Illinois of measuring this, but this should be a first down. By the length of the football.
Not even a full football. But a first down nonetheless, and a big one for these Broncos.
So Western Michigan converts on 4th and 1. First down just outside the 35 of NIU.
It's a good time to take a shot down there. See if you can steal one on them real quick. Of course, they'll probably just run it up behind Odell Miller, the big tight end.
Ninth play of this drive. They do run behind Miller. And it's a nice run on first down. They get about 6 up to the 30.
You got to give Jalen Moore, the big left tackle, some credit on that one. He got a double team block and then came off and got another block on a linebacker and finished things off. Watch the big fella. Comes down and then boom. And he's just going to keep pushing and pushing and put his man on the ground.
LFP play fake, a shot towards the end zone. Eskridge incomplete. No flag. That was Jalen Embry, number 3 on the coverage.
Eskridge tried to get a DPI on that one. You saw him kind of slow down, hesitate a little bit, hoping that defender would run into him and maybe get a cheap penalty.
You saw Embry look back, and he had an eye on the ball.
I think it was a good no call, to be honest. Eskridge would never agree to that.
No. Well, Embry kind of came down and grabbed him by the helmet, but it was after the ball had already hit him and deflected away.
There's a little jostling going on.
Now 3rd and 5. Remember, they're going into the wind. Petty's hit some field goals tonight of 45 and 42, but again, that was to the other side of the field, but a first down. The catch by the tight end, Ricci.
That was a rocket right there. Ellaby just rocked back and zipped that one out. I don't know if you could have dropped that one if you tried, Giovanni Ricci. Nice route on a slant. And great, great conversion of that first down.
Clock becomes an issue here now for both teams.
As we're getting near the 2.5-minute mark, and played number 12 of this drive.
And if I'm Western and I'm in field goal range, I'm going to keep it on the ground just like this and eat up that clock. And now you hear Rod Carey in the background calling for that timeout.
So he's going to use his first.
Northern Illinois is taking their first.
Gain of just a couple there for Bogan.
Yeah, the way Western could really get him is to drain all these timeouts and then convert that first down and just drain it from there. We'll see what happens when we come back.
Gavin Petty there has hit a career-long 45-yarder tonight, as well as a 42. His first was a miss from 36 in the first half when the holder Mahalik didn't get the laces spun around. And Mahalik was practicing that during this last break.
Yeah, he was spinning his laces. That's so important. I don't know how people realize that enough, but kicking them laces is a 50-50 at best proposition.
2nd down and 8 for Western Michigan. The 17 of the Huskies. Bogan. Wrapped up for not much by Antonio Jones-Davis, just a yard.
Another timeout.
Northern Illinois has taken their
So
second
they use their second.
He'll run 30 seconds.
Step it with 2:18 to go.
And I think this is an obvious move by Rod Carey, but you have to use them timeouts early, in my opinion. That's what I tend to like to do, because when a second goes off the clock, I haven't seen them put too many of them back on.
Yeah, they're pretty hesitant.
Amazing
to do
how that goes. So once they're gone, they're gone, and I mean they're basically counting on Western, or hoping not. But if Western is able to score here, they want time to be able to counter back and see what they can come up with.
Already the MAC West champs, Northern Illinois. Their last MAC title was 2014. They lost in the MAC title game in 2015. Both those games against Bowling Green. Western Michigan just wanting a 7th win to make them feel a lot more secure in getting a bowl bid, after being one of 3 teams bowl eligible last year with 6 wins and not getting a bid.
Yeah, and Western, if you want a moral victory, they've already won it. They came out here ready to play tonight and played well. So now they got to finish.
3rd down and 7. Keep it on the ground. Bogan hits the outside. 1st down at the 5. Out of bounds at the 2. 1st and goal, Broncos. A 14-yard run. The 5th-year senior, Ray, playing in his final home game. That's a big run at 15 yards.
It is, and they caught him in a blitz. So he basically blitzed or ran right where the blitzer comes from. Look at the top of your screen. See that safety coming in? Boom, he overruns it. That's DeVoe, and that allows Bogan to get to that spot where he was. Nobody's home, and he's able to get him inside the 1-yard line.
So 1st and goal. Western Michigan letting that play clock run down as much as possible.
Milk it.
Hand off, Bogan into the end zone. Touchdown. Jamari Bogan, his 2nd of the night. His MAC leading 15th rushing touchdown of the season gives Western Michigan the lead with 1:36 to go after a 15-play drive.
Yeah, that's a game-winning drive if I've ever seen one right there. Eating up almost 6 minutes off the clock. Late in the 4th quarter, driving down, get a big run from Bogan to set up the touchdown run from Bogan.
Gavin Petty for the point after. And it's a 7-point game, 28-21. And Northern Illinois, to get the ball back, they'll have 1 timeout. And about 1.5 minutes left. But how about that drive for Western Michigan? Ate up almost 6 minutes.
Yeah, and very impressive by not only the entire unit, but Caleb Ellaby running that thing from the quarterback position. Did an outstanding job. Got a lot of good reads on that drive. Distributed the ball, throwing it around a few times, and then just managed everything. Got him in the end zone. That's the step up they're looking for from the youngster.
Remember, they converted that big 4th and 1.
Fitting that it's Bogan to convert his 42nd career touchdown. She said he's senior. He's got his degree. He's a guy who does a lot here in Kalamazoo. Volunteers at elementary schools. So this week he was giving away turkeys. He's been the face of this program when he burst on the scene, MAC Freshman of the Year. I'm sure that touchdown is one that he will never forget.
No doubt about it, Quinn, and he has been a really positive force for these Broncos in his 4-year career. And he's not done. He wants to go cover a kick, looks like.
Couple of touchdowns tonight for Bogan. 28-21 Western Michigan. Western trying to snap a 3-game losing skid to end this regular season. Okasulis coming near side of the 25. So 1:28 to go. 1 timeout. Down 7 for the Northern Illinois offense. Start now on ESPN News. West Coast Conference Hoops.
Timeout for an injured player
Presented by
on the
Lowe's,
kicking
part of
team.
Feast Week. Colorado and San Diego from San Diego. We'll join them as soon as we're finished here in Kalamazoo.
Got a Bronco, Roy McCree, backup linebacker playing special teams, still down on the field. See what happens to McCree. There he is.
Oh, some friendly fire.
Yeah, and those are the ones that get you the worst in my experience. Seems to be all right, making his way off the field.
A little hitch in that giddy up coming off the field. Not too bad. All right, you got one timeout, Ray. You've seen what Northern Illinois has done offensively tonight.
Yeah, they're going to have to do different things than what they've done offensively tonight, and that means throw the ball down the field and get something going in that regard. And what I'm interested to see is what's Western Michigan going to do? Are they going to bring pressure, or are they going to play coverage?
They just rushed 3 this time. Childers steps up, throws, and picked off. Harrison Taylor. Second time tonight, Childers has been picked, their 3rd turnover, and a costly one right there that's going to cost him the game.
Childers was trying to get the ball to DJ Brown. He led Brown across the field. Brown stopped, and that ball just goes right into the waiting hands of a Bronco player, Harrison Taylor.
After the play, excessive sideline celebration in the field of play is a delay of game 5-yard penalty against Western. And after enforcement, it'll be 1st and 10.
Childers picked off for the 2nd time.
Yeah, just not a good throw by Childers at all. He thought he had led Brown properly, but that's one you got to just put right on your guy. Boom, now. And he threw it out a little too far, right into the hands of Taylor, who you don't get an easier one than that. Or a bigger one. That's a game winner right there.
Takes a knee. Northern Illinois has 1 timeout. But it's not going to be enough.
Well, you got to give Tim Lester a ton of credit with all that. He had to fire his defensive coordinator. They lost in a game that a lot of the blame was put on him for going for 2 and the play call and all those things last week.
Their last time out.
He just kept his chin up, kept working, and they came out here tonight and
please set the game clock.
Played as well as I've seen him play since early in the year.
Thank you.
Well, how about that? Their defense, last 3 games, gave up 51, 59, and then 42 in overtime last week. Let Tim Dowse go after the last loss. And Lou Esposito, the interim DC, in his first game tonight.
Espo's going to get a game ball. He might even get a Gatorade bath. Who knows? But he's got some energy, and he's got these guys believing and running around and having a good time. Now, whether or not that means he's going to have a shot at this job next year, who knows? But he didn't hurt himself with tonight's performance.
They are going to put a couple extra seconds back on the clock to 1:20.
Now he's playing get back coach. That might be the toughest thing he's had to do. Keep them guys back.
But if you take a couple knees here, you know, that's 80 seconds. That's what's on the clock.
That's all you have to do.
That's going to do it. And Western Michigan's going to snap that 3-game skid, go to 7-5. 5-3 in conference to finish the regular season. And
they just walk behind their bench, got doused with some Gatorade. Something
flying,
you want no part of on a 27-degree night.
The job hazards down there, Q. And Northern Illinois is going to go into the MAC title game 10 days from now with back-to-back losses at 7-5 overall and finish conference at 6-2.
Yeah, and they don't look like the team I watched on film prior to this one. You know, they had it rolling. But they're not a strong offensive outfit. They've won most of their games through defense and good coaching and being prepared and things of those nature. Got on a roll. They're more physical than most of their opponents, but I didn't see evidence of that tonight.
One more snap's going to do it, and Western Michigan going to win it 28-21. And if you're a Bronco fan, you can rest pretty soundly tonight that the Broncos are going to get a bowl bid this year.
Yeah, and good for them. I'm glad to see it, and they deserved it. They came out here and earned it tonight. And how about Caleb Ellaby, the true freshman quarterback, hit 19 of 35 for 285 tonight and just ran the show. He was fun to watch, and he is getting better each time out.
And the handshakes for Tim Lester. His team wins it 28-21. That's going to take care of things from here. And well, snowy Kalamazoo. The flurries coming down, but a big night for the freshman Caleb Ellaby. And Western Michigan wins it by a touchdown. For Ray Bentley, Quinn Kesnick, I'm Mark Dealey. Thanks for sharing this one with us. Let's send you out to San Diego, Colorado, USD, part of Feast Week.